Yes, good people. Big up to all of you. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this particular morning. Today, it will be a combo of the Blue Morning Show news and then a match preview. The preview of Chelsea's away game against Middlesbrough in the EFL Cup. Hopefully, we will win that one. We'll have a few news items here and there to address. And once we're done with that, we get into the match preview proper, and then we'll do a lineup build and lineup. It's a prediction, Chelsea predictor lineup exercise, which is always enjoyable. And that's, by the way, I do hope you're all doing well. Without wasting much of your time, sit back, relax, and let's get into the show. Yes, good people. Big up to all of you. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. As usual, we'll keep it interactive here. That is the culture. There's no other word about it. So I'm going to say hello to those of you in the chat before we start addressing the items we have lined up. And the first person in the chat here is Constantine Dante. Big up to you, brother. I like it when you're the first time I say because it wakes me up properly after screaming your name. Nice to see you, brother. Much love to you, and I appreciate you so much. Good morning, coach, and everyone. Good morning to you too. Let's see what else we have. Where we have DJs. DJs in the house. DJ, you have to train me on how to be a good DJ. Hopefully, the soundboard doesn't disappoint me right now. Okay, there's a pattern to how the soundboard responds. If Beautiful Game John's on time, he jinxes it. But that's by the way. Good morning, Coachella. A big up to the channel. Remember, people, like and subscribe when you start watching, like yesterday, working from home. But we'll be listening and commenting when I get a chance. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much for the dedication to our beloved club, and also your work at the same time. That is not easy, I've got to say. And Rich Money Makers. Nice to see you, Rich Money. We must win. That's your ID right there. Nice to see you, brother. I appreciate you finding the time to join. Let's see what else we have here. Luton, yep, he only says hello. And his ID, he says hello. And at the same time, he shows his ID, which is mandating that Chelsea must win. Demanding that Chelsea win a game. Yep, keep dropping likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along with quickly. I'm going to say thank you to those of you who are following the show on Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter, Facebook, and on YouTube. We appreciate you all. But quickly, if you're following the show, and for one reason or the other, you're not able to participate in the chat, just know that we sincerely do appreciate you. And that's because you watching alone does go a long way. But we want to ask you for one favor, one tiny bitty favor, which is to take a second and drop a like on the stream for us, because the likes do go a long way. The more likes we garner, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered to push the stream to more people who'd be interested in the topics we have lined up. So let's go. We have to start addressing the items one by one immediately. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. We have 6 likes and we're 10, 11 minutes into the show. We should be doing way, way better than that. And I think I'm tired of always begging for the likes. Let's go. I think we have the first item here. This one, we want to start from here. Sorry, not that one. We want to start from this one here, which says that Chelsea 24-25 home kit design leak with something you could call a scribble on it. Scribble more like you could say straight line signature thing. And let me know if the sound is okay. It's sounding to me as if something is whistling. I'm sure my alarm isn't triggered. Please let me know. Yep, this says the Chelsea 24-25 kit. It looks good. It really does look good. I like the design. I like it that the scribble thing isn't overdone. It is just it's, you can say it's mild. because when you overdo such on a design, sometimes it becomes an issue. So I do like it really. Just like our current is it thought kit? To me, as much as people say it is good, I think the design, the stripes on it, for me, was overdone. Also, membership, we should appreciate for great cause, not just for new soundboard. But I appreciate you. Please let me know if the sound, if let me know if the sound is okay. Something as if something is whistling in my ears. But I took it off and I'm not hearing anything whistling. Maybe something is, but I hope it's not an issue. With the no, it is the beautiful game that beautiful game that jinxed it. And so you see, whenever he comes to joins the show on time, it won't work properly. But that's why we keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. I like this, and if in fact the leak turns out to be accurate, the correct reflection of how the 24-25 Chelsea jersey will look, I will get one immediately. I love the design. It is not overdone. And I like it that they've changed the what's it called, the badge on the crest, the reflection on it that's made it look like something a 2-year-old drew if you're looking at it from a distance or from certain angles. But that's, by the way. Let's move on from that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Let's see what else we have here. And this is from Chelsea session. So big up everyone. Back to academics. So availability has declined, but I decided to stop by. I appreciate you, brother. I know that will be the case, and I told people, but still go and check out Ty's. I think he released about, I think, how many in total? Four in total. Four, at least I remember. Excellent videos that you need to go and watch. Ty, please do share the link to those videos so that people can go check it out, and mention so that I don't have to read it. Just mention, please go check out this particular video released with Titus. But Ty, nice to see you. I sincerely do appreciate you finding the time to join this particular morning. We're still waiting for Leighton to become a member. He's a member on other channels, does super chats all the time. He doesn't have to do the same here. We enjoy him being a member. If he becomes a member, we'll appreciate it. But thank you for mentioning Captain of the House, Constantine Dantu. Looks cheap. Has anyone seen the old movie back in the 80s named The Warriors? They were doing a lot of spray paints in the movie. The gangs should leave the mark. That's how our kids look. Still, it's good. If it's accurate, like here's the thing, I'm happy because it's not the scribble on it is not too much. It's not overdone like in so many of our jerseys. Yeah, I see what you did there. Big up, Ty, from Constantine Dante there. Yeah, not really a fan of the design. I think I like it. I take this. I think his thing about the jerseys, or like Americans will call uniforms, is that once the players start wearing it, it will grow on you. I did not know, in all honesty, I didn't know that I at any time will start liking the new jersey. Yeah, especially, but I'm never gonna like the thought kit, or is it for any reason? I'm never gonna like that one. Hello to you too, Win John. Nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show back again. And Chai has shared the link to his newest video where he ranks the Chelsea players' performances so far in the season in alphabetical order, and you can say in the measure of their respective performances, for lack of a better language there. Coach Letton is a billionaire. Wow, okay, nice to know him. To the panel, my next membership will be with Coach. Yep, I would take that. I appreciate, I love reading your contributions right there. But, also Constantine, while he may be saying the truth, he's at the same time playing around because he likes you. I keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go along. Well, let's move on to the next item we have lined up. Let's see. Let's go for it, people. Let's go for it. Let's see. Right, this one here, Ian Maatsen, finally it has happened. Ian Maatsen to Borussia Dortmund, here we go. Agreement in place between a BVB and Chelsea on loan deal with a salary covered. That's an excellent deal. So which means That frees up some money for us to spend it to spend this January. And rumors are that we'll still spend. Forget the rumors, or forget Pochettino pretending that we're not looking to spend. Like I said, he's not gonna say openly that yeah, we're looking to sign another striker. I don't think that will boost the confidence of this you already have. Already has available artists. He already the players he has at his disposal right now. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along. We appreciate you all finding time to join the show. I needed to see it properly, Kachila, to make up my mind. I'll still buy it no matter what, and add it to my add it to your kids' collection. Here's the thing. I'm going to say this again. I think I've learned over time that that's the case. Even if you don't like it, as the players start to wear it, it will grow on you. Yeah, that's what I've learned over time. And we have Jay. Jay is in the house. So big up coach in the chat. Jay, like I told you, if you want to be part of the panelists, just hit me up via Twitter. I've listened to you talk football, and boy, I enjoyed it and wouldn't mind you joining the group of Chelsea Perspective panelists on Twitter there. I'm starting in law sociology, studying of sociology. Okay, Ty, nice to hear that. I keep going, and believe me, you will achieve your goals. All you need is just to put in the work needed. Let's see. A big up tie to you and the GFC. So no obligation to buy. Nothing like that. There's more to read about that. In the building, GFC, Gavin, nice to see you. You know what to do. Whenever you get a chance to share the link to your YouTube channel so people can go check it out. I don't have to read it. If I have energy, I would do that. But nice to see you, brother. And by the way, if you haven't, go check out his YouTube channel and be sure to subscribe. Let's see what else. Anything else? So big up, Jay. Nice to see you, Mr. J. Let's move on to the next item we have. It's related to this one. You can see a follow-up report from Fabrizio Romano also, which says exclusive. Ian Maatsen signs a new deal at Chelsea, valid until June of 2027. 2-year extension, and it will include a release clause. The clause will be valid starting from summer of 2024. Maatsen will fly to Dortmund tonight to join BVB on loan, medical tomorrow, as revealed. Here's the question I have here. You could argue, it depends on who you ask, that he's been disrespected. And we knew from time that Chelsea aren't trying to get him to put pen to paper for a new long-term contract because they really want to keep him, but because they want to get a sizable fee from his soul. And how did they get him to agree to that? It just doesn't make any sort of sense to me. Maybe he loves Chelsea so much that they're able to take advantage of that and convince him that since you like Chelsea that much, maybe you need to extend and then go out on loan. And if you do well enough, then you get a chance to come back and become a Chelsea player that you've always wanted to be. I'm not sure how they're able to do that. I can't I can't quite make sense of it. For him to have agreed to put pen to paper for a 2-year extension through 2027 with a release clause. But we've been told we'll get more information on the construct of the contract he's signed. But these guys, I don't know how they're able to pull up the sum of the you can say the signings they've signed, and to get players who you could argue without being told that he signed an extension, you would swear with your life that he's not going to sign an extension. I'm not sure how they're able to do that. Let's see, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes will go a long way. Of course, salary is covered. It's only 11,000, but that's still a lot. It's so you can say. Let me just rephrase it. It's still something. It's still something. Another way to save money. And I heard they will pay 2 million in loan fee. So we get a few. You can say some money there. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along with. Big up Kachila. Big up JC. Nice to see you, brother. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. And Mohammed Ibrahim says good morning. The big boss, good morning to you too. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. I cannot thank you enough. Let's see what else we have here. Constantine Dante. And when is a title bout between Tiger and the Elephant? Nobody seems to share the link. We need blood. I think Tiger only talked about it. So, but if he comes in today, he will still talk about it in the chat, and he's allowed to do that because he's a moderator also. And Jerry is one of us. We are as selfless here. That's why we're growing as big as we're growing, as quick as we're growing, for lack of a better language there. So Tiger will come around. He will share the link also. I don't think that. I think it's gonna be a recording. Wish it'd be a live show. I'd be in. You can say I'd be willing to be part of it. Aston Villa in the next round at home, and it could be worse. No, I think we'll beat them, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing that they've beaten us already this season. For me, it's an people fear that meeting, and for me, I see it as the perfect opportunity to get a revenge. I wish it were at Villa Park, so you could say, yeah, even so, more of a perfect opportunity for revenge because they beat us at home in the Premier League this season. But let's see what happens. Ian Maatsen thinks it could be a new manager when he comes back. I don't think that's the case, but you have every right to see it like that too. Let's see. Keep dropping likes on the stream, and we have John, members of 2 minutes. Everyone, please hit and like. Yep, and share. John, thank you for being a member for 2 months now. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show, and also always supporting the channel. I cannot thank you enough. Or supporting the community. Yeah, that's only Matsen's chance if Poch is out. Yeah, and I think Poch will be out. No, I think he will finish the season well, and then he ends up staying at one more season. And then beyond that, I'm not too sure what will happen. But right now, I don't think the club, I don't think the owners will fire him just because of whatever, no matter how this season ends, which I think he will end the season well. How well? I honestly do not know. And JC is saying, Kuchila, so your preference is for the heavyweight to crush the Pals. The Pals are alive. Is dangerous though. At least they can edit the blood part in recording. Yeah, I think maybe they're better off it being a recording because I think it will be intense. But let's see. I know it will come out because the contrast between the stance of both individuals, Jerry Z and Tiger, it's something else. Come on, Boro. Good luck. Though. May the better side win. J Lad one, nice to see you. Thank you so much for exhibiting a good what I call spirit of the game. Love and may the good side win. Yep, thank you for saying that. How's my brother JC? He's in the house. JC, he's saying hello to you. Yeah, I doubt it will be live. Jerry Z wouldn't handle the pressure, you think? Keep dropping the likes on the stream. And GFC Gavin has shared the link to his YouTube channel. Please go check it out. Be sure to subscribe and let him know I sent you. Let's help him grow. Let's see. A big up once more to John. Come on, hit the likes, and it takes just a second. Every like grows the channel. The more likes we're gonna, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered and be forced to push the stream to more people who will be interested in the topics we have lined up. And Jude, a lot of people, Michael, nice to see you, brother. I appreciate you finding the time to join. He says maybe Borussia Dortmund or BVB, if you prefer, want to assess Maatsen on loan to see if they would assign him. I'm not so surprised he signed an extension. Maybe that was going to make it easier. Maybe, yeah. You never know. We don't know what has led to him agreeing to a 2-year extension, even though he hasn't played that much. He's in the chat. Look, his comment comes after this one. There you go. He's coming here. Coachella, Poch isn't going to last because it seems he lacks the winning mentality. If he screws up semifinals, the pressure will mount. Okay, if that's how you see it, but I think he will finish the season well and end up staying. I don't think the owners will let him go, no matter how the season pans out. Yep, John, there you go. That's Jesse saying hello to you. I hope you like that. Let's move on to the next item we have lined up. People, keep dropping the likes on the stream. the likes to go a long way. We are 26 minutes into the show, and we're just at 14 likes. We should be doing way better than that. And on the poll, I asked the question: do you think Chelsea will beat Middlesbrough? With 17 votes, 94% that thinks Chelsea will beat them, and 6% that thinks Middlesbrough will beat a Chelsea Football Club. And just saying, I sincerely hope Maatsen goes out and balls at Dortmund. I will be flying to Dortmund this Friday. Let's see if he's there. Probably will be, yeah, in the stands or on the stands. I'm not sure he starts for them. Coach loves a Poch. He's even has a nickname after him. No, I trust him as a manager, and I still believe that he's the man for the job and will do well. And you've heard me say that he will finish the season well, and I'm quite sure you've also heard me argue that uh, that I don't. He's not been perfect. But for me, I don't, and I've told you, and all of that, I have reasons. I have concrete reasons why I always defend the fact, my argument, that he's the one for the right job, and why things hasn't really gone the way we all expected it to go, expected them to go. But that's by the way. Let's move on. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. Just saying hello to DJ there. Let's move on to the next item we have lined up, people. Let's go. Right, Chelsea remain in the market for January incomings with a striker, central defender, and of course a left back, all being considered. The left back one is easy to figure out, and that's because will be this season. Probably most likely will be Thiago Silva's last season at Chelsea, and we've been told that Trevor Chalobah will most definitely leave the club. So, which means we need at least one centre back. Sorry for those two I mentioned. That shows it's important that we sign a centre back for the left back position. Maatsen is gone, and Ben Chilwell is hardly fit, which means that you could say the only left back we have available now is Michael Carrick, who isn't even fit. Even if he's fit, I'd argue that the club will still sign a left back. That's because Ben Chilwell is hardly fit. So that one makes a sense. They even did a video, I think 3 months ago or so, arguing that Chelsea will most likely look to sign a left back in the January transfer window. But that's by the way. Let's see what else we have here. Poch seems to like digging his own hole. I'm not sure what to make of that argument because I don't think that's the case. I think my brother JC may be drinking. He is spelling my name incorrectly so far. Wow, JC, I like that one. Why are you butchering John's name? John Hand. I remember his last name is Hand. For some reason, he's decided to take off his last name from his display there. So JC, boo for you for ruining John's name. That's not okay. Yeah. Let's see what else we have. Big up to you too, Tiger Beast. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. I don't know why every time I see you in the chat, what comes to mind? Steiger Direct. I don't. When last did I actually buy? Did I actually buy electronics from that online store, electronic store? I think it's been up to 6 years now. Who knows if they still exist again? Tiger Beast, nice to see you, brother. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. I hope you're doing well. No VAR in the semifinals for the League Cup. Wow. That's where I'm concerned, really. Let's see. That's number, bro. I have big fingers. Steve Jobs didn't account for people like me. Okay, let's see. Hi, Coach. In Pochettino, we trust. I mean, you could say that. I still trust him. I still believe he's the right man for the job. And hopefully he proves me right. All right, let's move on to the next item we have lined up here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes to go a long way. Let's go. I think this is most likely the last news item we have lined up, except if you have any news that you've seen, maybe one that emerged as the show progressed, bring it up and we'll talk about it. And this talks about Chelsea are following this report by Vince. Chelsea are following Madu Onana's situation closely, but Arsenal are pushing hard in recent days. I think a move to Arsenal just doesn't make sense to me. I'm not sure whether um, Jorginho, whether he stays beyond the 24 season, I'm not sure. But why do they need him? They still have who do they have in that position? The Ghanaian, what's his name again? Pate. They still have Jorginho, Declan Rice, the three of them. So I'm not sure if going there makes sense for him. I don't know. I'm not his manager anyway. So if and even us, why are we even considering signing him? We're packed in the midfield area. Maybe we don't have one. We don't have too many who you could say who can that can fulfill the traditional six role effectively. Maybe that's the case. Says JC, that's much for you, but let's see what teams to play tonight. We cannot lose, as I feel at this rate. The Cups are only route to Europe. If he butches this up, then don't know what to say. Yeah, but I still think it stays. I listen. I think we'll beat Middlesbrough. And it's a two-leg approach or format. I'm not sure why that's the case. If my brother JC spells my name incorrectly one more time, can you please put him on timeout? JC, as you can see, he's serious about it. Please, even if you were joking, let's spell his name correctly. Now, I have heard of that before. In dictatorships, if not Kim John, then who? Coach, they finally realized Hazard cannot play in that deep role. I think they're learning the hard way, and unfortunately, there's no position that you'd mention right now that I can hear and argue. Yeah, that maybe he'll be effective in fulfilling that role. Even though he's a player I liked him before we signed him from Leverkusen. But something happened. I just don't know what it is, and I'm not going to waste my time trying to figure out what has happened to Kai Havertz or the Kai Havertz we thought we signed. There will be no VAR for the games because VAR is only provided for stadiums in the Premier League. Exactly. I think I heard something similar in our last Cup game. So correct there from Jude Messola. I appreciate you providing that. We just like to hijack, and that's why we're pushing it for Amadou Onana. We tried to sign him, I think, 2 seasons ago or last summer transfer window, but he refused. He wanted to stay with Everton and help them. I don't know, do well. I can't quite remember what his response was. I think we went on deadline day. We did put in a bid around £35 million, and he refused to come to us. So why waste our times? Our time. I've told him no need. He's a moderate, so Heston. I think he was joking and didn't know you didn't appreciate that. I think he will spell your name correctly last time. Coach, he is not uh, uh, okay, bothering Middlesbrough over, but you could say, okay, over two legs, especially cannot get an easier semifinal in history. I hope we beat them. I think Poch will use set piece to break Middlesbrough's low block. Whatever he knows he can that if it does, we get a win. Let him do it. That's how I say it. And I want to say once again, thank you to those of you following the show on Instagram. I appreciate you all. And somebody has asked a question there. What's news? What news about my club? Just stay tuned. Walter, I think Walter Ambosi. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Let's see. What you're doing a great work. Continue. Dozy, thank you. I appreciate that. Let's see. Chelsea fullback Ian Maatsen has agreed to join Borussia Dortmund on loan until the end of the season. It's now official, deal done. And we've also heard, we've addressed one of the reports that he's signed a contract extension before joining Dortmund 2 year. contract extension. I'm like I said before, I'm not too sure how they were able to pull off that. Because if you ask me before the news emerged that he's joined Dortmund on loan, I'd argue that I don't see him signing a new long, extending his stay. You say signing a 2-year extension at Chelsea. I just don't know how they did it, in my opinion. Yeah, let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. We literally, for the first time this season, scored a set piece header during the last game. Yeah, and it was Thiago Silva. Even if he set up bad, we will win over 2 legs. The players will make sure of that nut punch. You still don't trust them, do you? But let's see, because your analysis is one of the best. Continue your job, Dozy. Thank you, I appreciate that. Don't get me, please don't do that too much. I don't start turning pink here. Pick up Bobby. Bobby, I don't know how DJ. Did I even mention your name? How did he know you've joined the panel? But that's, by the way, Bobby, nice to have you on the panel. I hope you're doing much better. Morning Blues says PD Blue 18 on Instagram. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show, my bro. I cannot thank you enough. And quickly, I have to do this. If you're following the show on Instagram, on X, formerly known as Twitter, or maybe on Twitch, or want more, maybe on Facebook, listen, I have a secret for you. And the secret is you'd be better off joining the show on YouTube and also subscribing to the channel on YouTube. Why? If you do that and make sure you turn on the notification bell on, you get notified whenever we go live and also get a chance to win at least $50 every month whenever we can if you're a student. So there you go. You have the secret, and let's go, people. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Bobby is in the house. Yes, and the legend is here. You love Bobby too much, and I say send him a check in the mail. And the coach is a tiger in the room.
Big up, DJ.
1 second, I'll come to you in a bit, Bobby. Okay, you're saying big up to DJ.
And money makers and everyone.
Sorry, go ahead, Bobby. You're saying big up to DJ.
Yeah, and money makers and everyone in the chat. In fact, it's been too long. DJ needs to come on the panel. We haven't seen him.
Yeah, he's working from home today. And Bobby, also, I did forget to reach out to. I did forget to reach out to Roger to see how he's doing, but I'll do that today. I promise. And I think Wheezy Junior or something. I can't quite. That particular screen is too far from me. I think I'll start using it on the right hand side. Says, do you think we'll get top 6? It's difficult to say, but mathematically, it's still possible. If we can keep winning games from now on to the end of the season, chances are we do even better than that. But I'm just going to leave it at that. But if you were listening, you're better off joining the show on YouTube. And make sure to turn on the notification button. That way, you will not miss out when we do a giveaway. We try to do that every month whenever we can to appreciate our members who are students. You get to win at least a $50. PD Blue, nice to see you. Let's go. Needs a 4-0 win, and hopefully we'll do that. Coach, is Tiger. Tiger is not on the panel yet. I would love to see their behind the scenes video. I recognize Bobby's avatar, very unique. Yep, a very, very unique. Yeah, it makes sense now. Why you are whispering, Coach? Because it's a secret. Yeah, it's just to be more dramatic, maybe. Bobby, everyone saying hello to you. Constantine Dante saying hello to you, and we have Roger is fine. He's a bit busy watching Breuer score on replay.
Constantine
Dante. Okay,
sorry.
Keep dropping the likes on the screen, people. Coach, your poll results is rigged. There are really 14% who think we will lose. Yeah. Maybe a Middlesbrough fan came across the poll and decided to participate. I will be back on the panel. Sorry, being busy with work. That's important. Bills don't pay themselves. Bobby, I'm going to come to you. What was the question I want to talk about? Ian Maatsen. That shocked me. Let me show you that particular report. He's joined Dortmund on loan. And the question is, how were we able to get him to put pen to paper for a 2-year extension, even though he hardly plays? I don't know how they're able to do that. And plus, if you ask me before the news, I'd swear with my life that I don't see him signing a new contract at Chelsea. And you could argue it's clear because we will add a release clause, which means it's you can say doesn't differ much from all we've talked about before. The only thing we didn't anticipate was that he'd have a release clause in his new contract. But we knew that the club were pushing to get him to put pen to paper for a new long-term contract so that when they sell him, they get a sizable fee from himself. But Bobby, how do you think the club's hierarchy were able to get him to put pen to paper for a new contract?
Coach, one thing people always underestimate is the desire of these players to stay at Chelsea. The fact that he's gone to Dortmund only on loan is just mainly to play regularly, which all of them want to do.
Mhm.
Now, the club have decided, okay, we extend your contract on two forms. One, if you produce such scintillating form, the club can retain you anyway. And two, if somebody comes along with a price, your price value is retained, just like what Napoli did with Osimhen. So I don't think, these players are not at war with Chelsea. Yeah, the fact that you may want to move or you may want to play more regularly, they don't have this bitterness against the club as much as some of the fan base do. They just want to play football. And so if the club approach them and say, okay, here's a new contract, here's a increase in wages from us, which is beneficial to you. Here is 3 more years of security in terms of earnings. And we will not stand in your way in a move. It's just that we want some financial benefit. The player who is a Cobham boy will look at it and say, okay, fine. Cobham boys don't want to leave Chelsea in a bad mood, in a bad atmosphere. They want to leave and leave something for the club. People like Mason Mount, for all his criticism and all the fact that he wanted more money, which fair enough, that's his livelihood.
Mhm.
He left for a good price. So he was instrumental to helping out the club with his fee. And this is what these guys are doing. So it's not that unusual or alarming or anything that we should be worried about. It's the Chelsea way. We've been doing this even in the Roman time. And we do this because of our relationship with our Cobham graduates. If you notice, a lot of them, even upon all the controversy, when they're leaving, they don't really say anything. I remember when Lampard froze out Tamori and to a certain extent Tammy Abraham, they never spoke out and said anything against the club. In fact, anytime they were on the bench, they were very supportive and very helpful to the success of the club. To this day, they haven't said anything. And neither any of them do. When Mason Mount's father came out with all that stuff with Man United, oh, dream come true, all that sort of stuff, that's his father, not Mason Mount. So I'm not surprised by this. I'm glad it's happened. And it's just the Chelsea way.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bobby. I think I've heard Tom, what's his name? My friend on Twitter that I've done, I think, one video with him actually. Tom Overend say something to similar like that. That usually people, most players that leave Chelsea leave in good terms and also maintains a good relationship with the club. And PD Blue asked on Instagram, Coach, uh, will the real Enzo show up today? I think he will. I think he will follow up that. He ended the game very well in that last game, and I think he will pick up from there today. I mean, Church is a Chelsea thing. Yep. I hope we get a win today. And PD Blue, thank you for saying that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Chelsea versus Aston Villa in the next round of the EFL Cup game, due to be played the last weekend in January 2024. I think on the 27th of January. I can't quite remember. I think we'll win this one. And yep, the fact that they beat us in the Premier League and at home. I think it's going to be war. Let's see. But I think we'll beat them. And yeah, 20 some the end of January, it seems like it's 1,000 years away, but it's close. How much is the release clause? No details yet. But we've been told that there's one certainly, but we don't know what that is. We'll find out very soon. We've been told. And the other part says Martin will fly to Dortmund tonight to join BVB on loan. Medical tomorrow, as revealed. They probably told him Poch won't be here by the time you come back. Whereas that would be believable to a lot of people, to me, it isn't. I'm not going to say that's correct. You go and eat. You're going to that place. I've told you. You're going to that itch place. Go away. Bobby, I hope you're well. That's from Rich Money Makers. Appreciate you, Bobby, joining the show. The problem is not Enzo. The problem
Big up, rich money
is
makers.
yeah, Bobby saying hello to you too. The problem is the defenders, okay, not pushing up and getting involved in attack. It's a matter of making coaching corrections. I think that will improve. I think the manager, for reason, if you ask me, I'd argue. I believe he's just being cautious. That's because we're not a unit yet. So he's trying to be as cautious as possible, not to lose games. Because if we lose game a lot, it will be you can say it will be very difficult for corrective measures to work, especially with young players. So he has to be as pragmatic as he can, which is to be cautious, trying to find a balance between being on an offensive minded team and also at the same time not living too much you can say not be vulnerable defensively. Aston Villa only beat us with 10 men, and if Jackson scored had scored, we wouldn't have lost. Okay, but let's see what happens. Poch wants his boys not to take Boro for granted. I like that. I think, yeah. And you know how many times we've talked about, we've discussed the reasons we've lost some of the games we've lost. Because the truth remains, some of the games we've lost are games that we should have won, if you ask me. I think he's probably realized that it just seemed as if every time we play the perceived this you said perceived inferior teams, perceived not strong, for lack of, let's say, not strong enough teams, the players going to the mindset, going to the game with the mindset, yeah, that we've won that game already. If it's in the league, they do go into the game with the mindset, yeah, the 3 points are ours. Look at them; they can't even play. They haven't won in a single game in 300 attempts or something. But I know you. Of course, I'm exaggeration, but you get my point. I'm exaggerating there. You get my point. So I think he needs to drill that into their heads, to take every team seriously, to play as if they're playing the best team in the world. That way you get results. Because if you go into games with the mindset that you've won the game already, you're not going to put in the work needed to win that game, and you end up losing no matter how well you play. So I think that's actually Charity FC defined, in my opinion. Bobby, let's hear you. I like that. This the Poch has warned his players to take Boro for not to take Boro for granted. I like that too. To me, it's a sign he's realized, yeah, Charity FC is well and truly in existence, and it's a mentality thing. And it's down to the fact that we go into games, most games, with the mindset that we've won already. But let's hear you, Bobby. What do you make of that, if you're there?
I slightly differ. I don't think the players necessarily go into a game with the mindset that they've won already. There may be an element of overconfidence with teams that they don't know about, and that's all because a lot of them are learning about the Premier League. But I think Poch is trying to instill in the players a work ethic. In the Premier League, if you don't have a work ethic, you can't rise to the top. You've got to go into every game with bloody mindedness. Indeed, any successful team have to go into every game with bloody mindedness. Whether Chelsea is playing poorly, fantastically or not, Chelsea remains an almighty scalp. You know, many, in fact, practically every team that wants to play Chelsea they come at it with the same fervor as they would against Man City, Liverpool, you name it. So we need to be on top of the game. And also, this is a semi-final, as it were. There aren't, sort of second chances. We've got to take this game with every single intention to win it. And also another thing he's talking to is to the fans. A lot of fans are the people that look at games and think, oh, we're just going to turn up. I'm not saying every fan, but we do have that element in the fan base. Oh, it's only so and so. Oh, it's only so and so. Look at yesterday when you said, hey, this is a big victory. People were in the chat saying, oh, it's only Preston. So that message is also to the fans that, hey, look, we're playing a team out here who are a professional team, albeit, okay, a couple of leagues below or a league below. But, on any given day, football is such that any team can beat any team. Can I give two really quick shout outs, Coach?
Yeah, go ahead.
Really quick.
Oh, you
One,
don't need to ask me.
ironically, I just wonder, a lot's been said about VAR in this game. I don't know why, because VAR has never done us any favors anyway. And with or without it, officials are always kind of stacked against us. My initial hope is that the officials are fair. That's what I always hope in every game, and not just anti Chelsea like we often find. Another
Mhm.
shout out I have is for one of football's immortals. I mean, you may not have any memories of him. I have some memories of him. The late great Franz Beckenbauer. I think perhaps the only
I've
player.
heard so much about him. I haven't even
Oh,
seen highlights of him.
he was mercurial. The only player who I think has won the World Cup as both player and manager. He's won the European Cup, I think, three times at Bayern Munich. Obviously, countless domestic leagues, European nation. The nations one, European
Nations Cup.
Championship with Germany. He's won it, I think, twice. The World Cup, obviously, he won it as a player and a manager. What sticks out to me with Franz Beckenbauer, apart from he always exuded elegance on the field. He was just one of those players that even if there was a battle going on, because the German sides he played with were very tough guys, they didn't mess around. They were
Mhm.
physical, they were strong, but they were also very technical. And he always had this way of looking like he was purring around the field. And one thing as a kid, because I was a very young kid as I watched him, I remember in the school playground when we're playing football and everybody and anybody wanted to be the captain, or even in our school football team, you'd always tie the armband like Franz Beckenbauer. I think he celebrated and made the captain's armband fashionable because he wore it with a measure of grace and swag. He was a magnificent footballer, defensive sweeper. He made the situation his own. I think he was one of the first and original defensive midfielders because he played that as well. And winning he was always, I can never remember any team he played for that he didn't captain, but winning the World Cup as a player and then winning it as a manager is an unprecedented feat. The world will not necessarily be a better place without Franz Beckenbauer, the footballer. Amazing, amazing player. Up there with the likes of Pele and Maradona in
I
his
thank
own
you for
right.
that, Bobby. May his soul rest in peace. Yeah, let's give those in the chat the microphone. John Potts, don't do that, please. Leave leave a a J alone. Let's see what else we have here. Antonio Silva's agent is reportedly doing everything in his powers to get the Benfica defender to move to Chelsea this month. Here's the thing: I don't like the fact that he's going to cost 100 million euros. That wouldn't change. That is the release clause on his current contract. So I don't see Benfica letting him go for anything less than that. If anything, if we're that serious about signing him, the only difference will be if we're able to negotiate a favorable payment terms. Do I think that will happen? I'm not too sure. There's a possibility of that happening. Good day to you too, John Potts Entertainment. Nice to see you. Chelsea may have to play Antonio Silva. Pay Antonio Silva's 100 million euros release clause, which is 86 million pounds release clause to sign him in the January transfer window. And how old is he actually? For me, I think that's too much. If we have to spend that much money on a centre back, I'd like us to go a much more experienced centre back. I get it; it's an excellent player, but here's the thing: if the club, if they've made up their mind to sign Antonio Silva, who am I to blow against the wind? Let them do their thing. As long as he makes us better. I don't know him that well, except much of what I've seen from comps, which shows he's good and he's excellent on the ball, clean tackles. He comes across as an intelligent player, but I need to see him more. If the club want to sign him, they'll sign him anyway. It doesn't matter what I think. Jay says, in order to realize the full potential of Enzo, the forward needs to make more runs for him to pin those passes. Yep, if you make the runs, he will see you. Something as a complaint that Thiago Silva dwells too much on the ball. That's because our midfielders don't seem to understand. He's waiting for them to make a decisive run or to open up in areas where if he passes the ball to them, they would displace 1, 2, 3 opposition players. Thiago Silva, believe me, if you follow him well enough, you'd know that he doesn't like to go pass the ball backwards or sideways. If he can make a decisive run or penetrating run, he will find you and he ensures that he displaces 2, 3, 4 opposition players with just a single pass. But a lot of people don't pay attention to that. So this is an excellent, actually a delicious comment from Jay. And Jay, this is for you. You deserve an applause. Chelsea will beat Middlesbrough and then Dagny Nate Bana. I like your name. Hopefully, I'm not butchering it. Dani, should I pronounce that Dani or Dagny or Nate Bana? But let me go with Bana. I like simple names that are they're spelling and complex. But nice to meet you. Feel at home. Express yourself. All we ask of you is just to keep it civil. Any of you going to see FA Cup between Chelsea versus Aston Villa in the last weekend in January 2024? There may be people there in the chat, but I'm not sure. Are you going, John? Can you let us know? Are you going? Coach, football is not played by players standing at one spot. I agree. I think that will improve with time. I still believe that's the case because if you follow this Tottenham team, they make a lot of good runs, excellent runs. Sometimes they don't waste too much time on the ball. Before you know it, you think they are into passing it around. Boom, they are in your box. They're coached to move forward, expansive when attacking, in backwards, compact when defending. How hard is it to guess for coaching? I think here's the thing. If we're being truthful, you can argue there are reasons why we have not been able to start playing as a unit as yet. So I'd give them more time, but that's just me. Chelsea 3-1 beating Middlesbrough in the Carabao Cup today. Okay, let's see that happens. We have a good record against Middlesbrough in cup competitions, and when we have played them in the Premier League, they were there. Jay saying, I agree, Bobby, the message from Poch was more towards the fans than players. Okay, I agree with Bobby. Yesterday, Man City fans would have been worried about getting us in the next round of the cup. Because we're getting better day by day. Big up the gist, the hist. I don't like you, man. Go away. Chelsea Mitchie, boy. Nice to see you, brother. And I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Please, if you're watching, if you haven't, I know we don't have too many people watching. Go check out Mitchie Boy's YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. Let's help him get to 2,000 subscribers as soon as possible and 10,000 as soon as possible. He deserves that. Let's see what else we have here. Since I've been watching football, I've learned not to underestimate any team. That's a dangerous mindset to have. To underestimate teams, you're asking for it because you're going to get the shock of your life. These teams that has nothing to lose, it can ruin your day. Yep. And my bro is in the house, keeping it real. Chelsea, big up my brother. RIP of Franz Beckenbauer. Nice to see you, bro. When you get a chance, share the link to your YouTube channel. You're a moderator, so you're allowed to do that. And when I get to it, I will talk about it. And Jay, quickly, because you're not a moderator yet, if you use more than 3 emojis, the machine that's policing the chat called Nightbot, it will delete your message. Yep. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. And everyone, if you see Michi, time him out. I don't like him. 2 a.m. Jay in the house. Jay, nice to see you, Jay. Again, once more, I appreciate you. He's become a regular here, and hopefully soon he gets on the panel to give us his 2 cents. Yeah, Bobby's in the house. Rest in peace for the legendary footballer there. Let's see what else we have here. Jump bots, we usually don't delete comments because Nightbot is already crazy enough. Yeah. I think Jumpo should know that. He's an OG here too. Let's see. If you don't like Michi, why not just ban it completely from your YouTube channel straight away? No, it's a joke. John, Michi is my friend. Michi is a very good friend. He's beyond a friend. He's a brother. I love Michi so much with all my heart. Yep, we support each other, and that's how we joke. It's a community joke. Yep, he says it there, and I wasn't to know. No, that's that because John, I know you've been busy. You've not been coming that much, so you get to know right now. But John, I appreciate you chiming in there. Let's see. I believe we are going to the finals of the Carabao Cup and FA Cup. We can. Question is, are we going to win it? And we've lost two cup finals to Liverpool in recent years. And I hope we get them, and I hope we beat them. Big up, Willie Bless, my Kenyan bro. I hope we take today's match seriously. I think we will. You can argue that was why the manager spoke the way he did. And for me, my biggest concern for this young squad is that mentality of not taking games seriously and going into some of the games with the mindset, that we've only won this. I still think that's an issue, maybe not to the extent that I believe it is, like Bobby explained. Let's see. I was going to put him on 1 hour time. It's lucky you can't actually time Michi. He's a moderator too. I don't think you can. So don't worry about Michi boy. He's fine. We've talked about this, and we did talk about Madu Onana, and we talk about this for Ian Maatsen. We did also talk that's Maatsen too. And this one here is a new the leaked 24-25 jersey. I said I like it. I think Constantine Dante and someone else in the chat say that they don't like it. For me, I think it's a good one, and I'm happy they're not overdoing the scribble, for lack of a better explanation there. Just for instance, our current thought kit, is it thought kit, which the stripes in it, I think it was overdone too much. For me, it was not done in moderation, so I didn't like that. But I like this, in my opinion. I think it looks good. But that's, by the way, let's move on to the match preview proper. Yep, it's a summer final two leg game that if we win, we'll meet either Fulham or Liverpool in the final of the EFL Cup. So we're close. I'm not gonna say we will definitely meet in Liverpool in the final. They have to beat Fulham, and we have to beat that's correct. Yep, and we have to beat we have to overcome Middlesbrough to get to meet Liverpool in the final. So there's no telling what two teams will make it, which two teams will make it in the final. I watched the Liverpool game against Arsenal, and Liverpool attackers didn't really fear me what I saw. I think it was Liverpool took on, you can say, a more direct. They used a more direct approach on that day. They weren't too concerned about keeping the ball. They just want to score and win. Nike overdid the chemical in the washing machine and didn't have time to make new ones. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. And Jane is saying a Chelsea win. I hope that happens. Bobby, I don't know. You have anything to tell us about the history between the two clubs? I don't know much. Before we start looking at the numbers, or you could call what do we call them again? The insights. I think we have just one item there on the insights column. Bobby, anything you want to say about the game before we start looking at the head-to-head insights, teams' written form, how many goals they've scored in the last 5 games, and how many were scored and conceded? That usually gives us a good idea with regards to what the most likely outcome will be. But let's hear you, Bobby.
Yeah, Middlesbrough. Well, as far as cup competitions are come to mind, perhaps the
Mm-hmm.
most significant thing between Chelsea and Middlesbrough was that we beat them in the 1997 FA Cup final, the cup final that we won after 27 years, really, of not winning a major trophy. We beat them 2-0. I think they even got relegated that year. I can't remember. And then I believe the following year or the year after, yeah, the following year, we beat them again in the League Cup final. There's they haven't had much luck against us in major domestic cup trophies.
Mm-hmm.
Middlesbrough are a strange team. Even Jose Mourinho's somewhat invincibles, their unbeaten record was tarnished in the, I think, 2005. When did we win the league with Mourinho? It was
The
2005,
last
wasn't it? The
one,
first one. The first one.
the
That
first
was
one I can't quite
2005.
remember.
Yeah, 2005 Premier League victory. We went so long with unbeaten, and then we went away to Middlesbrough, and to everybody's surprise, were beaten 3-0. This was the Mourinho side. So you need to be on your game. You need to be alert. I don't know what happened to that Mourinho side. It was
Mm-hmm.
very rare that anything like that would happen. But that was a different Middlesbrough, a Middlesbrough that had the likes of Ravanelli, Jorginho, Emerson. They had some talent back
Was it
then. But
Jorginho
even
or Janillo?
I've forgotten how to say it, but the diminutive Brazilian chap. So they had some exceptional talents then. Emerson, another excellent midfielder. They had all those sorts of players, and of course Ravanelli. We know what sort of quality striker he is, and they had a few others as well. I think Bostic played with them.
They had
You know,
did they have Yak at the time?
Yak.
Yakubu
Oh,
Ayebeni.
Yakubu. I think he
I
played
remember
with
he
them
played
at
for
some
them,
point.
and he
Yeah,
got me watching their game at one point. I don't know. I can't
at
quite
some
recall if that
point.
was the period we're referencing, but go
Yeah,
ahead.
gosh. Wow. So you know him. He was a very sort of powerful African striker.
Nigerian.
Very.
So no shocking why I knew him, right? Why I know him.
Oh, right.
Um,
Unless I'm thinking of the one that played for Leeds as well. Is he the same person? Must be. But he was very powerful. He had a fierce shot. That's who I'm thinking of anyway. But yeah, I think he played with them at one point. So they were a different kettle of fish. I don't know what they're like now, but I can well imagine, Tyneside, they will want, well, anybody will want to win a semi-final, wouldn't they?
mhm.
So we've got to be very much on our game.
Yeah,
That's
thank you
it.
so much for having to be on our game. And I'm not quite sure. I'm well acquainted with how well they played of late, but the highlights of their game against Aston Villa showed they're not to be taken lightly. We must be at our very best to beat them. Chelsea win, Jen. We have to see that. And good question there, JC. He wants to subscribe to your channel, and I'm not sure, Jay, but I fixed it. I don't think anybody will be able to time you out again. Maybe a Nightbot did. Maybe because you use more than 3 emojis on more than one occasion. I'm not too sure, but I think it must have happened by mistake. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. And John says that Jay thinks, yep, it was done by him. That happens all the time. Let's see. Everyone in the group chat that Poch, let's see what he says. Everyone in the group chat that Poch is starting to build, it says Poch is starting to build chemistry in our players and understanding that his players can do, or understanding what his players can do or cannot do. Okay. Let's see. This is yep. That's a very kind to hear from you. I happily give time to Kachila. Much love to you too, JC. I appreciate that. Let's see what else we have. Hit the likes button. Help Kachila. Help the community. Help us all. Much appreciated. Appreciated. The more likes we garner, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered and forced to push the stream to more people who will be interested in the topics we'll have lined up. And DJ is saying, does Bobby remember Bernie, a Slavic water striker? He was for Middlesbrough. I am going back to the days of the 80s. I'm sure Bobby will remember him. I don't remember him. I think one striker that I remember that played for Middlesbrough, I think Mark Viduka. Viduka did play for them, didn't he? I think Viduka did play for
No,
Middlesbrough.
Mark Viduka was an Australian that played for Leeds. Played
He
for
didn't
Leeds
play for
United.
Middlesbrough.
Not that I recall. He was renowned as a lead striker for sure.
Let me see. Mark Viduka club history. Let me see. I can't even spell his name.
It's quite simple. Viduka, I think. Viduka, something. Mark Viduka is renowned for playing for Leeds, for sure.
So he
I
didn't
don't
play
know.
for Middlesbrough. Yeah, he played
Not
for
that I.
Middlesbrough. I got that
Oh,
correct.
then
Yeah.
maybe after his Leeds exploits,
Yeah.
but
Here's the thing.
he
I
was
remember
more
that
famous
because
for
I
Leeds.
watched Middlesbrough a lot then because of Yakubu Ayebeni. Yeah, that was why I remember that. He played for Middlesbrough. Yep. I don't know whether that was his last Premier League club. I can't quite remember. Yeah, go ahead, Bobby. Were
I
you
would
saying
think.
something?
Yeah, I mean, I would think it was because his fame is definitely that Leeds side with Alan Smith. Gosh, they had so many players. I've forgotten the name of the defender that they had that went to England and then Real Madrid, and injury blighted his career. There was a very young, vibrant Leeds side, and Mark Viduka was part of that. But yeah, I mean, if he went to Middlesbrough, it probably was his last stint with the Premier League, because I don't particularly, I don't, not that I even watch other teams much anyway, but I don't, nothing about his career stood out. Let's put it that way.
He was a very good player. I don't know how long he stayed there, but I watched him because I think I followed Middlesbrough then because of Yak, and I think they were together. I can't quite remember, but I remember it vividly. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. Young
Well,
Yakubu was playing.
didn't Mikel finish his career with Middlesbrough?
Did
He,
he? I
yeah, he
think with
did.
Wolves in
No,
England, right?
Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough.
Did he play
Mi-
but he played for Wolves, right? Didn't he?
Mikel. I don't. I know. I think it was Middlesbrough. That was the end where he ended his career.
Mykhailo played for Wolves too. Let me
Okay,
check too
Did
before we
you
move
check?
on.
Yeah, check it. It'd be interesting.
Okay, let's see. I wanted to show like you showed that of Mark Viduka. Let's check club history. Come on, where can I not see that? Let me find it. Let's just find it quickly. It's good to check those things. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people, while you wait for us to confirm a piece of history here. Let me just go. He played actually for one popular manager. Okay. Where am I going to see that quickly? Let me see. Probably I have to go with Wikipedia. That's a long process. Sorry, people. Just let's confirm something quickly. Obi played for Lean Oslo, that was where he started. Chelsea, and then the Chinese club, Tangentata, and then Middlesbrough. Yep, Trabzonspor, is that how you pronounce that in Turkey? And then it was Stoke City, not Wolves. Yep, Stoke City was the club I was thinking about, not Wolves. Yep, you're correct. He played for Middlesbrough too, Bobby. You're very correct. Yakubu was playing for them. The sheer power of that striker was great, but Nigerians will never forget that World Cup that miss in the World Cup again. I think it was against South Korea, although that had he put that away, we'd make it to the next round. No worries, you deserve it, brother. All the support. Thank you so much, John. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Why score today? Why score today? Moneymaker, 3-0 per Chelsea. Okay. Let's see. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, and then it looks like we're gonna get straight to it says the coach, you are correct. He played for Boro. Okay, yeah. Bobby was also correct that what's his name? Mykhailo did play for Boro too. Yeah, and that was mixing up Stoke City with what's his name? Wolves. Yep. Viduka was Celtic too. I didn't know he played for Celtic. Celtic was he was an excellent finisher. Middlesbrough wasn't a side to play around with in the early 2000s. Chelsea, Mitchell boy, remember Slavin? Question for you there, Michi. Let's see. Blackburn Rovers and a lot more. Yep, yeah. Have his face in my in my head now. Okay, let's see. Viduka, big physical, amazing skill as well. What a first touch. Aussie legend, a striker. He was a very, you can say, a popular striker around the world at the time. Brazilian Juninho. I don't think he was Jorginho. I think we're talking about Juninho. I don't think it was Coutinho. I could be wrong. And Emerson played for them. What players? They were absolute class. I remember watching the game against Liverpool. He smashed them alone. 4 goals in that game. Wow, he was that good. Really, breaking news: Middlesbrough will have 12 players absent for the game. Wow, that's a lot. But I'd rather we face full strength Middlesbrough. You know, Chelsea. Every time we think we're going to mop the floor with the team, we end up underperforming. I hope that doesn't happen. Mykhailo played for Middlesbrough and Stoke City. Yeah, Stoke City was the name I was mixing with Wolves. So Bobby was very correct. The Ravanelli played for them too. I can't quite remember really. And it took Villa 87 minutes to score against Middlesbrough. Don't think it will be a high scoring game. 2-0 win for Chelsea. I'll take it. Even if we win by a long goal, Jay, I'm going to take it. I have to let you know that. Tony Yeboah played for Leeds United Coachella, the Ghanaian, right? Yeah, Ghanaian international. He was a fine player too. What a striker for Leeds, Yeboah. Let's see. Remember the
Yeah,
Yeboah
that's
volley?
who I was thinking of. That's right. I remember Tony Yeboah. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's who I thought you were talking about, Coach.
Oh, when I mentioned Yak.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I thought it was Tony Yeboah.
Yeah, I
You were.
remember Yeboah. Yeboah, wasn't he? Was it the one that played for Bayern too? He's a Bayern legend. Was he?
I don't know
Was it?
about Bayern, but I know he definitely
I think
was
maybe I'm mixing the name
Leeds.
up. There's a Ghanaian legend that played for Bayern Munich and played
Oh, right,
the.
that right back. I know who you're talking about. He was the
Okay,
right back.
yeah, I can't quite remember what position he played actually. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Juninho, yep, that's the name. Juninho, not Jorginho. Yep, I remember that. He was a fine player. Middlesbrough, Morgan Rogers suspended. Sam Greenwood and is that Flynn? Azaz Kaptide Aseni, Dang Riley McGee, unavailable. Okay. I remember Jeremy Aliandere of Boro Yakubu played at the top for Boro and Everton. Everton too. He scored quite a lot for Everton too. Do you have a Facebook and a Messenger, Instagram, and TikTok? Yep, we're all there. Well, on TikTok, search for Chelsea Perspective. You'd find us. On Instagram, just for search for Chelsea Perspective. You'd find us too. On Facebook, we'll have a page there. We'll have to create another one. We had to create another one because the first one was sabotaged. I don't know how that happened. They say, well, impersonating an organization that didn't make sense to me. Yeah, we do. So check us up there. And okay, you're talking about JC too. Yeah, do follow him there. Middlesbrough usually park at the bus, but against Villa, they played a high line, like trying to mirror image Aston Villa. Wow. Yabua played for Leeds United. Mykhailo finished at Middlesbrough. Okay, thank you for confirming that, people. Spelling error, Brazilian Juninho is the one. Sorry, not Jorginho. Okay, I suspected that was the case. Okay, let's get into the match preview proper. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Phil Masinga, South African international. I remember that. Part of the set that won the Nations Cup that South Africa hosted at the time. There was Phil Masinga. That's the most popular name, probably because his name, you can say, was too easy and so good to say at the time. Probably he was the most popular. They had other good players in that team that won the AFCON tournament for South Africa that year when they hosted it. What are the other names? I can't quite remember any other name except Phil Masinga. I know, did Benny McCarthy play for them at the time? The former Manchester United player. I can't quite remember, but let's move on though. Yeah, Middlesbrough goalkeeper
Yeah,
Tom Glover was.
Benny McCarthy. Oh gosh, what's this other Man United one? I can't
Oh, the
remember.
the
Patrick
short guy, the
something.
guy that looks not tall, another South African,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, Patrick something. I forgot. They did have some good players, and then a defender, a very popular guy. Yeah, yeah, they were a good team.
Yeah, that name comes to mind and he just went away. But Benny McCarthy, didn't he start at United or was he just at Blackburn? I can't quite remember. Um,
He went from Blackburn to Man United in the end, didn't
did McCarthy play for United? He was at
he? He did.
Ajax too.
He did. He did. Yeah,
Okay,
his best form was with Ajax, but he definitely played for Man United.
okay.
Goodness me.
Okay, Middlesbrough goalkeeper Tom Glover was man of the match against Aston Villa. Let's see, Bernie McCarthy was at Blackburn also. Benny McCarthy used to play for Porto. He played for Porto too. And he did play for Ajax. Correct me if I'm wrong. I want to know. Alongside Cano, I think that's why I'm remembering that. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 40 likes. We can be doing. We can do better than that. Says Jay. Let's make it happen. Do we have two Jays in here today? I think that Jay there is a Boro fan. And Jay, we have another channel called Soccer Perspective. If you don't mind joining us there, we do talk about every other football club, that not just Chelsea. And if you want to be a panelist in that particular show, you're welcome to on that particular channel. You're welcome to do so. Just hit me up via Twitter, and I'll add you to the panelist group for that particular channel. Let's see. The first thing we usually do during our previews, we pick who will win. Let me go for Chelsea. Wow. 66% thinks that Chelsea will win. 20% of things. 50% thinks it ends in a draw, and 20% of thinks a Boro will beat us, and that's a total vote of 39,868 votes. That's a good enough sample size. And those days, Kano was one of my favorite players. He's a player that I like so much. The sort of player that you don't understand how important he is to the team until he's not playing or you take him off. So let's see. Head to head, they've won none. I don't know whether this is correct. I don't know. Bobby, have they not beaten us before? Or maybe this is just for the cup games. I don't know. Bobby, have Middlesbrough not beaten Chelsea before? Okay, let's see. Let's see.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
I told you when that happened. It
Oh,
happened in a 3-0 win at their side to the famous Mourinho side that probably went there. I think it was one of those games that happened after an international break. So they
mhm.
went there not really firing on all cylinders and they were punished for it. So you really have to take them very seriously. That's the most obvious time I remember that happened. If it's happened since then, it's not very often.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think I remember. Yeah, you're correct, DJ. Benny McCarthy was part of Jose Mourinho's Champions League winning squad. Correct me if I'm wrong. We have before. Okay, yeah,
Champions League winning squad with who?
Benny McCarthy with Mourinho, wasn't he?
No.
Wasn't he?
No, Mourinho's Champions Leagues were Porto and Inter.
That's what I'm saying. Did play under Mourinho at Porto.
Oh, possibly. I can't remember. I thought he was at Ajax at that time.
No, I think he's left Ajax at the time. Mourinho Champions League winning squad. Let's check there. Mourinho Porto chat. Just quickly, people, we have time. Porto Champions League winning squad. Okay, let's see if we can find it here. Just quickly, I'm seeing other players there. All right, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. We have 40 likes, but we should be doing way, way better than that. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see if we can find it here. Where's the squad? Bench. Yep, Benny McCarthy was on the bench for that final. Yep, he had Deco, Carlos Alberto, he had Ricardo Carvalho, Nuno, the current what club coach in the Premier League? What club is he coaching? Actually, I can't quite remember. Nottingham Forest.
Nuno
Yep,
Espirito Santo.
Esperanto. Yep. So he was on the bench in that game. We have
Wow.
before, yeah, and Bobby have mentioned that too. Go ahead, Bobby.
Yeah, that's a better team than people actually gave credit for. That's
Yeah,
a very good team.
but you can say developed by Mourinho himself. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. Breaking news: the 23rd of August, 2026, Middlesbrough beat us. 2006 beat us 2 goals to 1. But probably when we were a top of 7 Premier League team. Yeah, Middlesbrough was good in the Premier League. Hopefully, I hope to see them back again in the Premier League soon. 11 February 2006, lost 3-0, so not just once. Is that so? 2 games now. Subscribe to Soccer Perspective. Jay, thank you so much. Just hit me up on Twitter. I want to add you to the panelist group for that one in this particular channel. We will do AFCON preview very soon. I see us beating Middlesbrough 2-0 or 3-0. Okay. 124 games for Porto, 57 goals. So he actually did well for them. Benny starts at Porto. Thank you for saying that. I remember him. Porto is my team in Portugal. Okay, you remember him saying that? McCarthy does is played under Mourinho and Mario in Portland, Oregon. And then okay, you mean Porto. Okay, that's just misspelling there. 19th March 2022, we beat them 2-0 in the FA Cup. Thank you for that information too. 8th May 2017, we beat them at 3-0. Yeah, but I'm not relying on this. So let's look at this. One single item on the insights tab. Chelsea have won the previous 4 matches against Middlesbrough. And the team form, I think we're currently in a better form, as you can see. Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games we've won, we won 4, and we won 3 on the bounce, 3 in a row. Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they lost 2, they lost 3, and 1, 2. So I'll go into detail again to see how many goals they've managed to score in that 5 games and how many we've managed to score in our last 5 games and see how many we've considered and how many they've considered. No, Coachella, Porto was my team. Oh, in Portugal. Okay. That was what you're saying. Okay. I think it's going to be a 1-0 to Middlesbrough at home. Okay, let's see. 2-1 to Chelsea away. And if the article I saw is true, I don't know. However, it said there will be away goals. Wow, the rule applies. The away goal rules apply. It probably wasn't true. I don't know. You never know. The rules change all the time. 27th of February 2013, we beat them 2-0 in the FA Cup. So we have a good record against them in the FA Cup. So will we win on our away goal rules? If no, If not, I think we will win 6-1 on pens. I don't blame you for supporting your club. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Let's see. Okay, in the last 5 games, they've considered 4, um, 5, 6 goals. And we've considered how many? We've considered 3. We've considered 2, 3, 4, and 5 goals. So they've considered one more than us, and we've managed to score 4 and 7, 9, 10. We've managed to score 11 goals, and they've scored none here. Okay, 1 and 3 and 4 goals. So here's the thing: even if we concede, I think we will outscore them. But that's just if that's well most likely to most likely going to outscore them, even if they score against us. That's not to say that certainly that will be the outcome of the game, but numbers based on the last 5 games suggest will give you a very good idea what the most likely outcome of that particular game would be. It's not going to be easy, but we'll find out. But if we're going by the numbers, we will most likely beat them, even if we concede, because we scored more than them in our last 5 games, and they've scored less. We've conceded less; they've conceded more. So let's see what else we have here. 4th January 2003, we won 1 goal in the FA Cup, and we also have. I think you beat us in both cup finals a few years ago. 2-1 time. Okay, let's see how this one pans out in the FA Cup and the EFL Cup. Yep, 29 March in 1998, we won 2-0 in the League Cup. And then let's see what we have here. Yes, McCarthy was in the team. Yep, yep. So let's get into the lineup building exercise. And as we are doing that, if anything comes up, any fresh news emerges and you come across it, please do share that so that we can discuss it. We can deviate a bit from the lineup prediction exercise and talk about whatever fresh news you bring to us. Not bad at all to discuss those. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to take care of the goalkeeping position. For me, I'd say, okay, I'll go for Petrovic. Yeah, the most difficult position to select, right? You know what I mean by that. So I'm going to go with Petrovic. As usual, I don't want anyone else to, you can say, to go through the troubles of figuring out who got the stick for us later today. I think it will be Petrovic, and we all know that will be the case. So, but I like to joke about me taking my time to do my research and all that. 7th October 1917, we lost a 3-2 in the league. Okay, thank you for that. But it will be great if we win the cup exactly 20 years after winning it last. Wow. Oh, that's a long time. Yep, Di Matteo got the fastest goal in the FA Cup. What a screamer of a shot that was. Who remembers it? I can't quite remember. I think 2 special goals that I've remembered from Chelsea players. 3, one from um was the guy that left us and played for Manchester United. Mikel scored a special cup goal. Essien scored a special cup goal. A screamer, and one from Matic. That was a screamer too. Was that a cup game? I think it was. But that's fine. Anyway, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. We have 40 likes. We should be doing better than that. Let's keep beef up the numbers. Like yes, what the goal? I can't quite remember that one. Has to be the Essien one. Yep, the Essien one was something special too. Michael's also was good. Even but Matic's that goal was something special too, given the where he took the shot from. I remember that one. That was the most recent screamer we've had the Chelsea player score in a cup game. First game we beat them 1-0 to 1907 in League Division 1. Rich money makers, don't go back any further, please. Let's leave it there. Bobby, let's hear you're back for. Let's say you're back for Bobby. Don't worry about the goalkeeper. I've taken my time to do the research and plug in that one for us. Let's say you, Bobby, you're back for. If we disagree, then we may have to use the poll to to sort it out. But let's hear you, Bobby.
Yeah, wow, this is a little bit tricky considering the back-to-back games we've got. And
Do you think he rotates? That's that. I'm guessing that's where your concern is coming from. You're not sure whether he keeps the same lineup or rotates. But he said in his presser that we'll see probably predominantly the same players that played the last game.
I would think so. Rotation has to happen anyway. The last game wasn't too long ago, so he needs to be very mindful of that. I
Hmm.
think I know what I would prefer, but I think he's going to go a back four of Colwill on the left, Desassi and Thiago, which seems to be his favoured centre back pairing, and then and Gusto on the right.
I think I agree with that one. I think I agree. And that's because probably Badia Chile, yeah, he said that he's not fully fit. I think he may start the game the game after this one, and Silva
Yeah,
will rest. I think yeah, it will be Silva and Disasi. Disasi for me, people are giving him sticks, but I think he's been one of our best defenders so far this season. But that's a small opinion anyway. So we'll go Gusto here, and when we switch to similar, you can say lineup during the last game, we played better. Um, Something close to this, not really close. Uh, yeah, I think I agree with this one. And before I welcome Roger, I'm going to catch up with what we have in the chat. And I feel ashamed because I was saying, okay, I'm going to reach out to him and see how he's doing. But I know he understands. Bobby, remember that strike from Di Matteo in the FA Cup final? It was the fastest goal ever. Yep, was in the final as well against Boro. Wow. Then they beat us 2-1. Okay, they beat us second game 3-11. 19. Oh, please don't go further back again, please. That that was okay, a first final. Okay, that was our first final. Okay. Your first final. Okay. We won 2-0. Di Matteo and the AD Newton and Eddie Newton got the second goal. Eddie Newton was coaching in Turkey. How is he doing now? I think they fired him even after he helped him win a trophy. Um, yeah, let's see. We won 2-0 and Eddie Newton. I remember Eddie Newton. Do you guys think Nkunku will be back soon? I think he will be back soon. I think his absence is more of a precautionary measure not to aggravate anything. That's because we're not missing him that much, in my opinion. With just some, he's that important that we don't want to risk him because we're trying to play him because of how important he is to us, or because how good he can be for us, and then aggravate any situation, for lack of a better language. They said he will be back in 1 to 2 weeks. I hope this is true and not another PR, just like a Chukwuemeka's case. I don't think that's the case. I think we're just being cautious. Because he's an important player for us. 42 likes. Come on, everyone, please hit the like button and also share button. We can do so much better than that. And Roger, I want to welcome you on the panel. Roger probably will be going, boo. You didn't even try to check out and see how I'm doing. But this is for you, Roger Dodger. Okie donkey, Roger. I'm not sure I'm saying it correct, but it's. But Roger, I honestly and wholeheartedly apologize because I think 2 days in a row we did talk about you. People in the chat were asking after you. Some were just to fight you, but it's also all love. You know that. And Bobby did ask after you yesterday also on the panel. And I told him I was going to message it to be sure. Yeah, okay. I apologize. I didn't do that. And wholeheartedly, I mean that. But Roger, how are you doing, brother?
You're dead to me, coach. Dead to me. I'm good. I'm good, gentlemen. Seriously,
It's
Ola,
actually a Netflix
everyone.
show
Hello.
called that. A good show, actually, by the way. But go ahead.
Really? I'm not
Roger's
familiar
Yeah,
with
box
it.
there is.
office.
Yeah, a very good show. Go ahead, Roger.
No.
Box office.
No, not at
I was
all,
saying,
Obin.
I was saying, Roger's box office. He pulls in
No,
the
He
crowd.
is.
I'm merely a shadow in your light, Obin. I'm serious. It's an honor as always. Seriously. Listen, I apologize, Bobby, for leaving you alone with this gentleman. I won't do it again. I promise.
Yeah, the gang thing.
It's
Go ahead.
Yeah, I
it's
was
against the
wondering
Geneva
what was
Convention, I'm
happening.
sure. How are you? How is
That was
everyone?
probably why he didn't know when he went. Where's Roger, my brother? Go
Yeah.
ahead.
By the way, I have to say, I can't remember who said it. I think it was Constantine about Roger is fine. He's busy watching the replays of the Broja goal.
That
I
was what
couldn't.
he said. I was gonna say that Roger just did it to
Yeah.
me. He said,
I
"You're very
couldn't
busy
stop laughing.
watching the replays of Amanda Broja's goal." He said that. Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah. Seriously, I couldn't. That was bloody funny. That was for making my day. That was funny. But yeah,
that was a
listen.
fine finish though from Broja. I gotta give it to him. And probably you were very proud of
all
that. Go ahead, Liz.
joking aside, great discussion as always, and I have to. Yeah, it was two shows, yours and Mitchie's, and I'll be honest with you. I was saying that how technically well taken that goal was. In fact, both headers. When you look at Silva's header, it was Drogba-esque. It was so technically well taken, and so was Broja's. They were both stunning goals. You know, as much as I'm really beginning to appreciate Jackson, what he does off the ball and how he links up play and so forth, but I don't think Jackson would be scoring that kind of goal, and I know he won't.
No,
He's not.
that's
But then
shocking,
again,
right?
Right, but he's not a number 9.
No,
and
he's not.
He's not aerially, but you know, this is the one thing that I love about Broja is his ability to at least test the keeper aerially. You know, and Silva, and I would say Palmer and Nkunku are the only ones that are, shall we say, technically superb aerially speaking. But getting back to this back line, coach, yeah, was that your lineup, Bobby? I agree wholeheartedly. I can't see us
I agree too with this backline.
deviating from that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what Coach likes, isn't
unless there's injuries.
Yeah, I think they all. I think he will start them
Yeah,
all.
I mean,
Go ahead.
I'm not sure about. Yeah, I'm not sure about Badiashile coming into the equation or Colwell. I'm sorry, Chilwell. God, I get those two mixed up. Possibility he'll probably start at left back in any match I'm talking about. And what does that do to the back line if you've got a fit Disasi, Silva, Colwell, and Badiashile? Honestly, I still don't think we truly know what his preferred starting
We
two
don't
are.
know yet.
I really don't.
We don't know until we have everybody back for a while.
Yeah, because Disasi and Silva have played mostly because of either Colwell having to play on the left or Badiashile being injured or not available. You know, so but I would say as the season progresses, I would say that's those back two of centre backs are probably his first choice based on what he has available. I think that's his most comfortable pairing. You know, and obviously Disasi outright sometimes, you know, if Gusto goes to the left or, you know, if he's not available. But he's never had that luxury of being able to pick his desired back two for a permanent basis based on the lack of availability. I think we really have to take that into consideration. But yeah, that's assuming Badiashile, in fact, assuming Disasi and Silva are fit, I'm assuming that's the starting.
Yeah, maybe Badiashile comes in the next
and
game
also
and Silva
Gusto,
gets a
obviously. If
rest.
Gusto, God forbid, is not available. Yes, indeed. And don't forget, we it's actually the next 10 to 14 days. We have quite a few matches, so rotations of the essence, I think.
Yeah, a lot of games. So he has to rotate as much as he can.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is. Let me catch up with what we have in the chat. I'll come back to the panel in a bit. Let's give them the microphone. Jay, Pochettino has it all under control. Don't worry. Big up Roger from DJ. 1st January. Don't go back again. Don't go back again, please. Don't. Yes, sir. Roger is in the house. Big up Roger. Hope you have been well. You see how much we miss you. And this one says, Roger, Broja out. Oh, I like that one.
Broja out.
I like that one. Yeah, send me something. I like that. I like that one, really. Yeah. I'm not going to forget this one. And good rhymes. Dante, hopefully, let's see. Good morning to you too, Adepa, Mark and Joe. I hope you're doing well. A big up, Roger. Much love to you. Jay in the house, they're saying big up to you. Roger in some other language I can't read there. And we have CFC Jingles in the house. That's a lot of people Meso's YouTube channel. The plan is in place. I think we'll get that YouTube channel up and running so he gets monetized as soon as possible. Please go check out CFC Jingles YouTube channel. From all of you, Chimera, Deborah, Makunju, Jay, and all of please, we grow together. Selflessness is the reason why we're growing as quickly as we're growing. Let's go help him grow and get monetized and be motivated to do even more. Big up to you too, Chimera. I appreciate you finding the time to join, Chimera and Roger. And Deborah is saying, based on Poch's remarks, I can only see a case of predictive programming. That man, wow, by nature and cannot manage the pressure of winning top trophies. But we'll find out. We'll find out. Roger, Speaker of Goalkeepers Union. Yep. Oh, that's another role. So he's the chairman. He's the speaker of the Goalkeepers Union too. Wow. Your thoughts on Petrovic? You think he should stay as number one? Okay, I'm gonna let Roger speak. I have my opinion on that, but let's hear him speak. Even you, so let's say, let me complete or remix that or a bit for you. Even if Sanchez recovers, Roger, let's hear your response to that particular comment from DJ.
Yeah, DJ, hello, how are you, sir? I believe. Listen, it's very early days yet. He's only played, I think, started 5 games, possibly 6, but I think it's 5.
Around that.
So it's not exactly the largest sampling size, but I think he's earned the right to continue being number one. I believe at this point, in this juncture, I think it's his job to lose. You know, does he have the seniority and experience of a Sanchez in this league? No, of course not. But I think he's very composed on the ball. I think his distribution has been excellent, both with his feet and his arm. I think his positional sense has been outstanding. Obviously, he didn't do himself any harm by saving a penalty in that shootout. I think that's an added bonus. If God forbid we have to face penalties, I think he challenges aerially. He's proven now that he's getting more confident in the box and he's beginning to dominate his box. As I said, his positional sense, his reflexes, I think he's doing very well. And the fact that he doesn't invite pressure by dilly-dallying on the ball, he either passes it immediately, one touch, which he's able to do because he's technically more proficient than Sanchez.
Yeah, we both.
Or he just boots it long. He clears the lines. He does everything well. The fundamentals, even when he's coming out of goal, by the way, sweeper keeper, which he's done exceptionally well. If you notice, instead of trying to boot it, further down the line, he'll just kick it out of bounds. He won't even try, to even consider, bringing in the opposition into the game. So he's doing the base. This is what you're taught. Don't take any risks if you're coming out of goal. Just hit it out of bounds and concede a throw-in. And that's what he's doing time and time again. And so if he continues to do the fundamentals, the basics well, and continues on this vein of form, I think he no doubt deserves to be number one. Up to this moment in time, it's a very, very small amount of games that he's started. So based on what I've seen, he's been consistent each and every game, by the way.
And you could argue he comes across.
We haven't
go ahead.
had any knee wobblers. Sure, head on his shoulders, considering his age. His ceiling is high. He hasn't even come close to entering his prime, so that bodes well.
You could argue he comes across as the more calmer on the ball. Even I get it, he doesn't risk too much. And he reads the game very well too. That's another thing I've observed. And even when under pressure, like like you've explained, he's able to pass it one time, and he does that effectively with both feet, not just right foot or
Yeah.
left foot. I
Now,
think.
now let's not kid ourselves though. We haven't
Mhm,
played a prolific, goal scoring team like let's say a Liverpool or a City. We haven't really
mhm.
faced anyone. It's just been a very good introduction to the first team for him. It's come at a very fortuitous stretch in the schedule. So I agree he hasn't really
Wasn't
faced
he in goal
and been
against
peppered.
City? He was the goalkeeper against City. You can't blame him for any
When
of the
was
4 goals in the 4-4 draw. I think he
I'd
was.
have to I how many games ago was that?
Oh, it's a while, isn't
I'd
it?
have to check. Yeah, I don't think he was, but I could be wrong. Bobby,
Okay, yeah, that sounds like a Sanchez
I'm
situation.
not exactly a teenager anymore.
Yeah, that
The
that
old
sounds like a Sanchez situation. Come to
it,
think of
it,
it,
it could be, but
because
I don't recall him.
well, what I like about him, Roger, is that
Yeah, it's
there are fewer. You don't get
go ahead,
as
Bobby.
concerned or as nervous when the ball is played back to him, when he's doing the sweeper keeper bit. Whereas Sanchez, you're like, oh God, please don't let him pass it to another player. And we've never
Mm,
really been comfortable in that situation outside of Kepa. But Kepa gave us such heart attacks with other situations that often went unnoticed.
yeah,
But
yeah.
he
I
doesn't.
think he's a combination of Mendy and Kepa.
I
Yeah,
think
he
so.
is. He
I'm getting
is
that
a
vibe
better
too.
combination.
I'm
Yeah.
getting that vibe. But something you say that I agree. It's too early. He hasn't played that much, so we'll find out more.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's still early in his career. I mean, listen, if he does have a few wobblers, that's to be expected. If you look at um, if you look at Kepa last year, listen, he went the whole year of playing basically flawless football with his feet. That's not the norm. You look at the best keepers in the Premier League, and they all have wobblers each season. So
Mhm.
we got a bit spoiled with Kepa in that regard. I'm talking about just being technical with his feet. However, this chap, I sound fundamentally. And that's important, gentlemen. And also, if you notice in corners, he doesn't flap around like Sanchez does. Sanchez usually is very good in his box. When he's got pressure around the box, he he's often on the ground. Oh, I shouldn't say often. He's occasionally on the ground, which on your feet. With his physique, you've got to stay on your feet. And I know this Petrovic is not exactly 6'7", but I think he's 6'4", which to me is the perfect height. He's got a wingspan big enough to save most shots, and his center of gravity is just at the end of the envelope to be able to get down to any ball fast enough.
Mhm.
So he's a
Bobby, were
prototypical
you saying
goalkeeper in
something?
that
Sorry,
regard.
we cut you off.
I'm
Um.
sorry, Bobby. I apologize.
No,
No, we both did.
I was agreeing on the whole Petrovic and feeling a bit more secure with him. And I personally
Yeah,
think, you know what, I think he's played enough for us to have some measure of faith in him. The thing about goalkeepers is that it's their position to lose, really. The
yeah,
the mistakes, there will be a mistake. Sure, even the best in the world,
exactly,
Neuer, they do it. But the thing is, how frequent are those mistakes? One, and two, how many points do you save your team?
exactly.
Two, and he has been saving us a lot of points. I just want one point to add to my points. Is Roger, I'm keen to hear your eulogy to the late great Franz Beckenbauer, because people, we go on about the Pelés of this world, rightly
Mm,
so, the Maradonas, but to me that was one of the most majestic players we've seen on a football pitch on this planet. And I remember he made the captain's armband fashionable? Because I remember as a kid, we would tie,
Yeah.
old socks or anything around our arms, imitating the Beckenbauer look. He was a magnificent.
Remember that?
Um, he played the
Yeah.
sweeper situation
I, I, I,
excellently.
I,
He
I
he
tell you
was the
what.
he was the first of the original defensive midfielders. Do you know that? He used to play DM often for Bayern and Germany. What a player! What a captain! Winner
He,
of the World
he
Cup
was
as
Rudiger
a
before
player and a
Rudiger.
manager. Yeah,
Wow. What a
Yeah.
way
winner
to say.
winner.
Listen,
Okay, Roger,
he,
let's hear
he
you
was the
so that we can
person.
move on.
Sorry.
Yeah,
No
he
worries.
basically revolutionized defense, the sweeper. It was him. You can the biggest praise you can ever laud anyone with is if they change the game. And he changed the game. He revolutionized, being that kind of position and being a sweeper coming forward with the ball. He was the first one to really start pinging the balls from a defensive. He was the original Pirlo in that regard. He is. Listen, if you're picking a FIFA World 11, he's in it. There's no doubt he's in it. Period. Especially for the last century. No doubt, the last century, he's hands down in it. He's one of the greatest players to ever. You get accolades. When you hear of Bobby Charlton, Pele. These people that are from his era, that they wax lyrical about him. He's adored. If you look at Germany, for instance, and even Europe, not just the sporting press, it's the mainstream press. It's like on the first part of the news, and that tells you something. And listen, he's our arch enemy, Germany. England, Germany, England, Scotland, England, Argentina. These rivals don't get any bigger than that internationally, and for the British people to basically, laud him with compliments, that speaks volumes. You have to have laced up boots. I feel sorry, for Germany and for his family and friends, because they lost a legend. And that term legend and the term great is so overused, and it's applicable for him. It really is.
I
Yeah, thank you
totally
so much,
agree.
Roger. And Roger, if you don't mind, maybe you have to go back in and come back in. I think your audio is breaking up, unlike you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
No, no, you
I'll
don't
do
have
so
to say
right
sorry.
now.
It happens to all of us. I've had occasions where my own connection ruined the shows. You know that. Welcome on
Okay.
board, Roger. You have CFC Jingles welcoming you back. I forget Chris might start right back. There's a chance that happens, just like the last time we predicted that correctly. Yeah, thank you for the update there. If you're interested, pay attention to the updates from Rich Money Makers there. And no, we need Gusto on the right side so he can attack. Yeah, he's more effective on the left. Even Cowell, as much as I know, he hasn't fulfilled, you could say, the left back role exceptionally well. He's done well enough because he's not traditionally a left back. That's why I don't judge him for that. Chilwell is back on the bench. Yeah, possibly. I'd be shocked if he starts. The goals we comment, and there's no Jackson to waste a chances. Easy win today. Palmer and Marathon Mothers on the score sheet. Let's see. Holla chat. Hope everyone, we'll all appreciate you. Even when you were here, people always ask after you, Roger. Glad to have you back, brother. Big up to you too, Phil Sills. Big up everyone. Big game tonight. My prediction 2-0 Chelsea, 2-0 or 3-0. But all I know is we haven't lost to Boro. And the end gonna start now, and we get a clean sheet. Let's see if that happens. I think David should start today. I don't think David Washington gets a chance to start. The manager's priority will be to play Broya even more, especially now that he scored, because he's a second in line. If we have to, you can say, mention the pecking order. Petrovic has been solid so far, like his style more than the panic machine. Keep Petrovic as first choice. Yes, then Sanchez is also good. But like we said, again, I've said, and Roger have said the same thing. We need to see more. But so far, so good, and I'm glad we have them both. But he's proven to be the more sweeper keeper like of the two keepers. Has proven, like you say, not to. He doesn't panic on the ball. Sanchez, I wouldn't say panics on the ball. Maybe he needs more time with the team. I just don't know, but we need more time to see them both. Petrovic has been solid, like you said. I've addressed that one. Yes, start Washington. Broya scored, so a Poch doesn't usually reward. That's so dropping possibly, but I think he rewards him this time because I think he likes him and he speaks very very highly of Broya. Petrovic not properly tested yet. Need to see more, but signs are good. I think, yeah, we're all saying the same thing. What we're seeing so far, we're happy. If anyone is going to the Riverside, get ready for a show. We were known for our fan days and atmosphere. It makes the game interesting, my friend. Jay, I hope you come around. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our sister channel, Soccer Perspective. We'll be doing a lot of shows covering all clubs there. Hopefully, you come on the panel there if you want to. Petrovic is very consistent. He's looking like he has the quality of Peter Cech. I think he's actually better on the ball than Peter Cech from what I've seen. Easy. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. That's like Roger saying Broya has quality of Viduka. Of course, Roger, I said the house. Now, you won't say 10 things without mentioning his name, right? Let's see anything else important here. Sanchez remains the number one, irrespective until further notice. Yes, then. Do I agree with that? Yeah, I'd say, but that's just a level right now. Sanchez could still be mentioned. You could be mentioned as the number one, while Petrovic will keep starting until, because you don't chop and change goalkeepers like that. If he keeps doing well and he gets tested, as we're all, we can say we all can agree, he's not been well tested. Well, but if that happens and he comes out on top, yeah, chances are he remains he'll be starting games and it would take him making some high profile mistake for Sanchez to get a chance to start. I don't think the fact that our goalkeeper coaches worked with him at Brighton and maybe they have some sort of connection and probably will push for him to remain the number one. For me, I'd say the level number one, the number one term right now, it's just a level. Except if we end up finding that, Pochettino doesn't really reward performance, then that's a huge issue. He comes across as very confident. I agree. We need this high claims. His ability on the ball. Sanchez, I think, panics and kicks his ball. Oh, God forgive me for my dirty mind right there. I'm dead. I don't mean it like that. DJ, I'm sorry, but thank you for this comment. I needed that laugh. Sanchez,
DJ, he's not sorry.
And kicks his ball to the opponent rather than.
Wow, coach, get your mind out the gutter. Wow.
I'm
coach,
sorry,
what's in your coffee, man?
But Roger, I'm so sorry. God forgive me for my dirty mind right there.
No, it's fun. I'm actually laughing. You've got a contagious laugh. That's funny.
Rather than put it to Rosie, at least Petrovic either passes the ball out or boots it out. Yeah, I agree. Big up to you, Vic. Nice to see you, brother. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. I hope you're doing well. Much appreciated all your support. Let's see. I really like Mignan of AC Milan. I don't think we should be. I don't think it would make sense to be spending that much money on goalkeepers. I've been watching them more since my boy Pulisic balls out for them. For me, the person I like to watch at AC Milan right now is my boy Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Wow. I just felt like we're gonna regret it, really. But that keeper is very underrated. It should be on a CFC radar if they want to win titles. I think we'll have goalkeepers capable of winning us title. We just need to give them time. And I don't think goalkeepers should be our priorities right now, in my opinion. Mayan actually too expensive. We were after him last summer, weren't we? and we were told that we have to pay up to 80 million pounds or so to get him. Middlesbrough, I'm rich money makers. I've moved on from the Middlesbrough history, but let me read this one. Middlesbrough, 19th March 2022, we won 2-0 FA Cup. Okay, quarterfinals, beat them when the manager was Chris Wilder. With our manager Thomas Tuchel, goals from Romelu Lukaku and who? What? And Hakim Ziyech. Thomas Tuchel. Okay, Thomas Tuchel. Yeah. Okay, I didn't remember that. Dante is in the house. I am seeing a more potential in Petrovic than Sanchez. As Roger said, he's still very young. And goalkeeper's edge like fine one. We haven't seen Petrovic yet against the top oppositions. You just did a tapping on Roger. When oppositions attack us a lot, we need him to be tested even more. But the signs are good, like you said before, Constantine Dante.
Coach,
It says that we Vic, okay, just saying, talking about something else I said there. Your beef with the coach, it doesn't end. Roger, were you saying something?
yeah, I just want to say something very briefly, Coach.
Mhm.
You know, the fact that sometimes when Petrovic has played, we've had so much possession and he's hardly been tested. That's actually also very hard as a goalkeeper because it's very easy to lose concentration. You know, it just takes a split second. And the fact he's able to retain concentration on a high level, at least from the outward looking aspect. So that's a big plus for him also, because you see this a lot when keepers are hardly tested and all of a sudden when they're finally called upon, you know, they're in the wrong position or that they have a hiccup, and he has not exhibited that yet. So that's actually a huge compliment to him because of the fact that he's played in games where he hasn't been tested, then all of a sudden he's peppered. So that's a sign of maturity.
That's that point blank
Why?
header.
Why?
Was
Why
that
do
against
people?
Luton?
Yeah, this guy has had significant tests against Luton, against Palace. Why do people say he hasn't been tested? He's been
No,
in a penalty shootout. Sanchez has been in none of these
How about
situations.
he hasn't been tested enough times, Bobby?
no,
Maybe
no,
that's
Well,
better language.
he's
no.
not been
It's
playing
not that.
football
I'm talking
enough
about.
times. He's new to football. He's not
Yeah,
been in
yeah.
the
No.
country long enough. Yeah,
Go ahead, Roger.
go on.
Yeah, but all I'm trying to say is he hasn't faced the quality of a Liverpool or a City. That's all I'm alluding to. Listen, he's my first choice if I was the coach / manager. There's no doubt about it. To me, he's earned the spot based on the fact that he's been so consistent, and he's only going to get better. You know, assuming he stays healthy and doesn't experience any major injuries. This is not an indictment on him at all, Bobby. It's just the fact that some of the opposition. Listen, you face Man City and you know you're in a war because they're going to have the ball at least 50 to 60% of the time, and their quality of crosses, their quality of shots are superior to most other teams. Same with Liverpool. Let's be honest, and that's all I'm alluding to. However, I don't have any doubts that he can meet those expectations when facing a superior team. That's all I wanted to allude. That's all. But listen, I don't think we should expect too much from him. You know, he's not. He's just so young. I don't want us to build him up and then for people to, from everything we've seen, Bobby, to start. I really do. I just hope he can remain healthy and may it long continue. He's been a pleasant surprise. I'll be honest with you. I didn't expect him to be this good.
Yeah, I
I
was just
agree.
waiting for him to get an opportunity. And if you remember our argument at the time, if the manager gives him an opportunity and he does well, it simply means that Sanchez would have to do better to get a chance to play, and they'll be challenging each other. But the fact that he hadn't played at the time, we were arguing that isn't that that's not good. That wasn't good at the time, because Sanchez needs to know that if he underperforms, we have someone else on the bench that can come in and do a good job, equally good job, and if not an even better job. Bobby, you wanted to add to that quickly, so we give those in the chat the microphone, be all caught up, and then come back to the match preview proper. Go ahead.
No, there's nothing to add. I agree wholeheartedly.
Of course, Roger spoke. Where would you add anything? Your gang member. Chilwell handy against low block. I think I'm inclined to say that's not the case. Low block is not going to find a lot of space. Chilwell, I think he's more effective when there's space for him to exploit. Remember, he's not, let me just use the term, an excellent dribbler. He tend to opt for safer option backwards or sideways when somebody's on him. So I'm not sure how that's going to work against low blocks. Is that because he makes good runs in behind defensive lines, but where's the space? Because in low blocks, he will be crowded in the box. So I'm not too sure about that one there. Okay, enough of the history, Rich Money Makers. I love you, bro. But people, pay attention to Rich Money Makers. Lots of good informational updates there from him. Heard a lot about him from my uncle. Unfortunately, not old enough to have witnessed him. You're talking about Franz Beckenbauer. Yeah, I think I have to watch his what's it called? Watch his highlights to get to know how he played at the time, but a lot of good stuff about him. At least Roger said he was Rudiger before Rudiger, and the regional DM, according to Bobby, at least he can attack out wide. Let's see what else we have here. I do hope we'll beat you. It will be the closest we've been to Europe in a long while. I do hope we'll beat you too. So back at you. But nice to have you here, my friend. Just keep it civil. You're always welcome to be part of the show. Letting you been one enough. Petrovic is taking his opportunity. That's what life is about. Besides, Sanchez is not the established number one. Let them compete. You could use the term that none of the players are, you can say at this point is the established number one. So, but for me, I'd rather go with you can say with my previous comment that the term number one at this point is just a label. Yeah, they can be switched to any of the goalkeepers at this one. It's not, you can say, I don't know what language to use to come across effectively. It's not guaranteed. Nobody is a number one right now, in my opinion. Roger is in the house, and us, give us OG, give us a G, and okay, I'm not sure what to make of that hype in there. I wish I could. I like hyping people. You're the one going to that place too. If you understood why I was,
you know what it is. It's
that you're coming with me. Go ahead, Roger. Go ahead, Roger. What were you saying?
Yeah, that is, you know, like cheerleaders to give us. Yeah, basically what he was doing was give us an R,
give us J.
Us an O.
Yeah. Okay, now I understand.
Spell out
okay.
A word.
Okay, now I understand.
That's
so next time if I see that, I'll do it. Here's the thing, Constantine. I just told you, if I'm going to the H place, you're coming too. If you understood why I was laughing, you're coming with me. I remember the Bible says you can actually sin by thinking. So that's up to you. Do we have anything new on the amount of Maatsen release clause? Not yet. Nothing about that. It's out of BIC. My Swiss bro, nice to see you. That's a masterclass from the board. Yep, I agree. How they were able to convince him to sign a 2-year extension, I don't know. You caught me in 4K. Okay. But Jay, I appreciate that. It's true. Sanchez does panic and kicks his own stuff. I'm not saying that again, Coutinho, honestly, bro, but I understand. But seriously, if that was by design, then you're really good. But I think it was a mistake. That was better than the small board. Welcome to the club, coach. Welcome to you too, brother. Sanchez panics too much. A lot of people think that's the case. I think we did analyze the situation at the time and we did come to the conclusion that as the team becomes well rehearsed, chances are he'd be better off. I don't know. Palmer hat-trick and Madueke top pin. Do I think Madueke starts Mr. Magic? I'm not too sure, but we'll find out. Palmer, new striker, possibly Petrovic, choice of when to hoof and when to pass. Also, pass to where he is more comfortable in such situations. That shows good understanding of his surroundings or situation. Has been better in one Yeah, I agree. He's shown that also he can be a sweeper keeper, which to me, the fact that he hardly misplaces his pass shows he reads the game better than the other goalkeeper. At least from what I've seen so far, we need to see more. Free Maatsen, yeah, he's still under contract until 2027. We did concede the set piece goal against Luton Steel. His shot stopping helped him in penalty shootout. Yep. Let's see what else. I once said, and that's Tenaro. Nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join us. I hope you're doing well. Here, I once said here, way before Sanchez' injury, when I likened Petrovic's body to that of Vicario, that he will be superb compared to Sanchez. He is good at cutting crosses and distributing the ball than Sanchez. Cutting crosses is something, is a rare, it's you can say, an attribute that most goalkeepers don't have, but it does help a lot. I think, were you the one that told us also that he's good on the ball? I don't know. Coach, low blocks are a problem because our defenders are usually sitting on the bench much closer to the goalkeeper and game watching. Okay. Petrovic played the game before, not just in goals as Sanchez. You can tell he has never. Okay. Also, not all tall. More marble helps. Mobility is more important than the height and tall. Sometimes you can be too tall, I think. When you're too tall, probably will take you a year to get to the carpet to stop a carpet shot. Go ahead. You were saying something.
Yeah, it's totally correct. You have to have shall we call it, a happy medium, a sweet spot for keepers, because you can't be 6'9" and be expected. You'll save a lot of high shots in the corners, but low shots in the corners is going to be harder for you to get down. It's called gravity. 9.8 meters per second. There's a happy medium. And I think between, let's say, 6'3" to 6'5" is the perfect height for a keeper in today's game. It really is. But don't forget also, the taller you are, the less likely you're going to be of being technical with the ball. It's that simple.
And getting to the ground to save a carpet shot are usually difficult.
Yeah, it really is. And you become more clumsy, more cumbersome in your body. To be coordinated as such. I'm not saying you can't be 6'9" and be a great goalkeeper. There are exceptions. There's always exceptions to the rule, but the majority of cases you'll find that if you have your average 6'4" keeper compared to a 6'7" plus, you'll notice that they're probably better scenarios too, like getting to the carpet, in the bottom corners or with the ball. It's just that simple. That's what, otherwise you'd have basketball players playing in goal. It's that simple.
And
otherwise,
for his
Shaq would have
height,
been the
you
greatest
did
keeper
say
in the
that he
world.
has a perfect. For his height, you did say he has a perfect height, not too tall, not
Yeah,
too.
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's not short by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not just height. You can be 6'4" and have a short wingspan. He's got a long wingspan. He's got long arms. There are keepers. You can bring two identical keepers at the same height, and one will have a longer wingspan. That's more important actually. It's that simple, because not everyone's arms. Yeah, there's a ratio. I get that, but there are some people that are blessed with long arms.
Yeah, thank you so much, Roger. Let's see. It was easy to convince Maatsen, but say to come back in the summer and Poch will be gone by then. Yeah, look at you. Yeah, look at his wish.
Yeah.
And JC, you've joined the list of people that's going to the H place, right? I already told you, Coach.
Hawaii.
I am booked already. Yeah, go ahead.
Hawaii.
Yeah, maybe Hawaii, right? If you can call it that. For me, I'm going to Hawaii. They're going to the other H place. They know what I mean. First class, but even I'm not laughing at Sanchez. Only Poch, because wow, I'm not reading that anymore. Our next Premier League game, Fulham Villa, Wolves, and Liverpool. 10 points from these 4 matches, and we are comfortable sitting in top 5 place. Wow. In the fifth place. Wow. Let's see what happens. I think what we've been.
Let's go one game at a time, shall
But
we?
let's say, yeah, this
People
usually
are
the game.
getting
But he's just, go
so.
ahead, Bobby.
As if this is where
Yeah.
people start getting ahead of themselves. We know this is a fledgling side. It's beginning to learn to integrate. Inconsistency, we've not climbed that hurdle yet. So let's just one game at a time. And this is how you start to climb the hurdle of inconsistency. But to start now to dream of, oh, we're going to beat this and beat that, this is how people end up with
Bobby, I
disappointment.
disagree.
I know coach would love that.
Yeah, but
That's
Yeah,
Bobby,
what
I
he wants.
shocking.
disagree. It should be one.
I'm shocked.
Bobby, I
Yeah.
disagree. I disagree,
Coach,
gentlemen. It's one half at a time, not even a game at a time.
yeah, one half at a time, absolutely. Now,
Yeah,
coach, that doesn't mean to say because
because
you get upset with me. That doesn't mean to say you shouldn't be reading this stuff out. Of course you should. But I'm
No,
just
that's why we're here.
responding to it.
That's why the Blue Money Show is enjoyable.
I'm just
honestly,
responding to it.
gentlemen,
Yeah,
That's all.
I know.
Yeah, honestly, gentlemen, you're right, Bobby. I don't think we're consistent enough to play 2 consecutive halves. If you
No.
notice, a lot of the time, we're quite inconsistent within a game. So we have to build the consistency to play 2 consecutive halves well. You
Yes.
know,
Yes. It
you
really
see my
has to
logic here.
be.
Yeah, this
Absolutely. It really has to be one step at a time, baby steps before we start taking leaps.
it's. I mean, we haven't it's gone. You can say we haven't made any changes. We still have the kids we have, and kids will always be kids. Don't
Yeah.
expect consistency.
Do you
Exactly.
know why it's so
I mean that. I
frustrating?
mean that in terms of expectation, because that
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah, I know.
comment is a signal of our, we're starting to walk into this expectation level again, which creates a disappointment in this fan base when it doesn't quite happen. So I always advise, as does Pochettino, that look, just take it one step at a time. You face what's in front of you first, overcome that before you start thinking of the other things. Um, that's all. That's just my opinion to that comment.
Bobby, Roger, you were saying something.
Yeah, you know what it is? I honestly believe it's the fact that they show us glimpses of their potential. And then people wonder, why can't we do this on a consistent basis? Which is a natural, reaction. But it it doesn't happen overnight. This isn't like a sport like football where you orchestrate a play after play. They're all individualized with timeouts. We don't have that luxury. This is a free flowing game, and it's so hard to build that chemistry. It takes years on the practice ground to build that chemistry and understanding.
Yeah, but I do agree with you. Let me catch up. I'll give those in the chat the microphone. We have to continue the lineup prediction exercise. We will have a game extra rest when we play Fulham. Okay. Let's see. A bit too confident, Chimera. You can say that. Temper your expectations. One division, two team at a time. Okay. On a serious note, we all were speculating that Maatsen is being benched, and he's been benched because of off-pitch reasons like contract issues. Turns out it was a purely football reasons. I've always said it was if he's going to leave the club, it will be again purely on football. You could say basis. It will be purely football reasons. That's because he's not playing. It's as simple as that. And we were only trying to get him to sign a new contract because we just want to secure an asset. We want to ensure we get a sizable fee from him. So if we end up selling him, it turns out that's the case. So you're correct. Off the pitch reasons like contract issues, turns out it was purely footballing reasons. Poch doesn't rate him as left back. Oh yeah, shocking, right? Let's see what's even more interesting that Poch considers Colwell as a better left back, Chilwell as a better left wing. That is over Maatsen. Maybe you could say you could say in terms of the left back position, he needs height, and Maatsen is vertically challenged. So for lack of a better way to get my point across there, Maatsen has a Poch release clause in his contract. You guys are really dreaming. Bobby, with the what negativity? What did he do? One game at a time is not negativity. There, in my opinion, for mid-table teams, we are not that. With everything considered, I expect a top six to finish. Yeah, you have every right to do that. Poch must deliver with everything considered. Okay, that's you. Yeah. So let's go to the midfield. I'm gonna say here we have, of course, I think Enzo Fernandez starts this game. He didn't finish the last game. That's a sign. Probably wasn't, you can say, 100% fit, but he turned it up a notch in the second half. Caseda, I think, will start this game. I don't see a situation where he gets dropped. That's because even though I think he's not a traditional six, I think the manager has to make do with what he has available to him right now. And I think it's him. Let's see. To Bobby, after reading Poch's book, he does start to get the results in the second half of the season. I don't even need to read his book to know that. I think that's has been has happened to him in all the club he's coached. He usually has a difficult start to life. He had a difficult start to life in all those clubs. Maybe PSG, not one of them. We are mid-table with Poch. Wow, everybody blaming Poch right now. That's a good take, Chimera. A substantial portion of fan base would agree with you. There's somebody, CFC Mod, did put out the poll. More people want Poch to stay. So, but nearly 50% is still a lot that wants him gone.
Wow.
Yeah, nearly 50% wants him gone, but more people wants him to stay. So it's, you can say, pretty much balanced. So this, you can say this statement is correct. Roger, let's see how you the two sixes. I think where we're gonna have a problem is when we get to find how he accommodates Gallagher. But let's see how you the two sixes. I think that's probably what we'll see.
Yeah, I think that's a strong assumption there. I mean, we don't have a choice really. Who else is available to play?
Yeah, it selects itself.
Yeah, it really does. So, not to mention their price tag.
Mm-hmm. I agree, Bobby. Let's say you coach. What was the result of poll on your channel? It wasn't 50-50. More people also wanted him to stay. Yeah. If we didn't have such easy last few games, it would be more than 50%. Possibly, you never know. But those such last few games that we won, actually the sort of game I didn't expect us to win, because those were some of the big boys. Those were the sort of teams that we've lost games to. So the signs are good. And that's why I think he finishes the season. Bobby, the two sixes, let's hear you.
I think Poch will go with what he has been using before and what he regarded as his strongest before. And injury has dictated it, really. I don't know if Gallagher's got over his little niggle, but he's going to play Gallagher Caicedo with he's going to do a midfield three. At least starting Gallagher Caicedo with Enzo. That's what
So
I
the
think
the
he
two
will do.
sixes you think will be the two sixes there. And you remember, I think the approach, you could argue sometimes it's more like we're playing with a three-man midfield.
Yeah.
So you think like that, Enzo Gallagher there, right? So Bobby, while I'm with you, the three in behind the striker, name the players you think will start there. If we disagree, then we'll use the poll to complete it.
He will certainly go. What's his name? Palmer,
On the
Broja, and Sterling. Palmer on the right, Broja up top, Sterling on the left to start, and then eventually he'll bring on people like Madueke and so on. But definitely to start, Palmer, Broja, and Sterling.
So
He's going to
centrally
have to
here,
rotate because the
you need one more
turnaround for
person
this.
here. So you think Gallagher is going to be here?
Yeah, he's going to
Okay.
rotate because the turnaround for this game is really short. So most of those players are not going to play 90 minutes. Certainly five of them won't. So
And
yeah,
you
Gallagher
could, yeah, go
Caicedo
ahead.
definitely. Gallagher Caicedo will play in midfield as the
And you
pivot.
could argue, we called it the last time. Some of us argued that he was going to rest Gallagher, and he did.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
he's
did, and I
played a
think he
lot.
starts this game. I think this is what we're going to see. maybe I don't think Sterling. I think he starts Sterling. I think he respects his experience, even though he's hardly consistent. I think he starts. I think Palmer starts, which means Mudryk and Noni Madueke won't get a chance. And last time also, I
No,
think,
no, no, no,
yeah,
no. They will get a chance. They'll come off the
but they're not going
bench.
to start. Was the line? Was what I wanted to
No,
say?
they're
But go
not
ahead,
going to
Bobby.
start. Yeah, but
Hmm.
I always guard against this not starting being like they're being kicked out of the team for the game. No, they'll come off the bench. A lot of these players are not going to play 90 minutes. We still have Fulham in the week over the weekend, and that's an early kickoff. So
Hmm.
rotation is key. It's massive. His aim would be, without sounding overconfident, would be to try and kill off this game as soon as possible and then make changes if that's possible. That doesn't mean to say that Boro is a walkover, but that has to be his aim. So Modric, Madueke, who else you can name? Even the Gilchrist. I think Gilchrist will come on at some point if we're
There's
doing
even a
well.
chance he starts, like JC mentioned.
Exactly, ahead of Gusto. He's going to be wrapping a lot of these boys up in cotton wool. We have enough injuries. You're not going to be looking for any more. If Badiashile is okay, he's on the bench, and who knows, he might come on for a little run, much needed run around. So, and so yeah, he rightfully rested Gallagher because Gallagher is one of those players that has to play back to back to back. He will have to play against Forest. Like there's no rotation for the midfielders at the moment. So yeah, we've got to be careful with that word miss out. They're not missing out, they're just rotating in at some point during the game.
Mhm.
So
Yep, Roger, I'll come to you in a bit. Villa play Everton, United face Sports, and Newcastle go to City. These teams will drop points, and we must capitalize on that based on our current easy fixtures. Hopefully, we do that. That will go a long way for us. No, coach, it was a 50-50. I can send you timestamp. Find it. Find it. I don't think he ended 50-50. But even if he ended 50-50, even if he ended 55-45, that's still pretty much balanced, in my opinion. You are not saying the truth. You're coming with us. Just go where I'm not coming with you guys to that place. Coach, you don't expect us to beat a second division teams. Uh Expectation is one thing, but reality is a different thing altogether. And I'm saying I did speak of through the perspective of what we call charity FC. And look at all the games we've lost this season so far. Those are the games we played better. Those are the games you could argue we had no business losing. And it didn't start this season. That has been something that's been happening for 3 seasons in a row right now. So I'm not saying no. I expect us to beat them. But whenever I speak about those games I did mention, then I'm concerned. When you tell us they have 20 players out injured, then I will remind you that Charity FC is well and truly in existence. Yeah. So I'm not saying I don't know. Expectation is one thing, and reality is the other, if you understand. Let's see. Breaking news. I've heard the board wants Chelsea to be like Liverpool with full of attackers scoring loads of goals. Okay, thank you for that breaking news right there. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes to go a long way. Wally Waldo, I appreciate you finding the time to join. You came in swinging this morning. Managers have no say on contract negotiations. That was a sarcastic humor, Vic. Okay, having a conversation there. Coach is putting in a lot of spins to the just go away during his staffing. I'm not mentioning that word again. Thanks for DJ for that vivid picture there. He wasn't by design, I'm quite sure. So yeah, I think I agree. That's what we're gonna see here. Roger, let's see you, and even the man up top. Let's see you. Roger, do you differ? If you differ, then we have to use the poll.
Yeah, I think Gallagher starts there. Um, you're right. I think probably. I'm not sure about Sterling starting, but I think he does because this is if this was at home, I think maybe Mudryk will start.
No,
But
this is not at home.
That's what I'm saying. It's away, so
Okay,
he's going to want
sorry,
more.
you said that already. Sorry.
Yeah, so he's going to want more experience. And the rotation, who started the last game on the left? It was
on the left. Mudryk started, I think. Yeah, I think Mudryk started that game, but had to be taken off. Let me check again.
actually, I don't think it was. Actually, I'm trying to think now.
You don't think it was him?
I could be wrong.
Mudryk started that game. Didn't he?
Preston, or was it who started? Sterling started on the right. I'm sorry, and Mudryk on the left.
Yeah,
So
Mudryk did start.
yeah, so I would hope.
Yeah, Mudryk started on the left. Yeah, and was taken off.
I would hope that Mudryk is actually rewarded with another start. I understand Sterling scored a beautiful goal, and I get it, but I believe. Listen, I'm looking at the schedule here, and I get the rotational aspect. I really do, especially when you consider this Saturday we have a Premier League game, correct, against Fulham. Yeah, so we do. So it all depends. I would like to see, because I think Mudryk is fit enough to play today and Saturday. I believe so. Match fitness I'm talking about. I would like to see him at least come off after 70 or 60. I would like to see him getting more starts. I really do. I think we need to see a better run of play consistently for him to see what can he do for us. Now I get
Coach is going to be happy with my disagreement to Roger coming.
Yeah,
but
then
you guys
again,
hardly fight actually. Even sometimes when it sounds like it's as if you two are debating each other, it sounds too fake. So just go ahead.
No, Roger. This is a very genuine rebuttal. Mudryk actually had a poor game against Preston because he doesn't do well with low blocks because he has no space to run behind. And I don't think he should start against Boro because they will low block, at least initially, until they fall behind, hopefully. I think he's the kind of player you bring on, hopefully, if we're ahead and they're trying to push forward. They've got to push forward. It's a cup game and they're at home. And then he'll find the space behind. So tactically, it wouldn't be inept to start him. And, this being on the bench these days in particular is not a be-all and end-all death sentence to your participation in the game.
No, not at all.
We have 5 subs.
But my logic...
Good.
Yeah.
I say we have 5 subs, and with the short turnaround of the next 2-3 games ahead, including this one, I can very, very much see Pochettino using each and every single one of those 5 subs. So that was my disagreement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
all right. It's a huge
logical.
One. Go ahead, Roger.
No. It's a sound rebuttal. It's hard to argue. This is my rebuttal to your rebuttal, so to speak. I get what you're saying. And by the way, it's not because it's Sterling. It's because there's a difference in starting as opposed to coming off the bench when you're young and new to this league, especially. I emphasize that because your mindset is different. And I get the logic. But then again, what happens if we concede first? It's going to be 2 buses parked there. So the fact that Boro will probably be more enticed to come out on occasion because they're playing at home. I think he can exploit those. I'm not saying that they're going to be progressive and try to be, on the front foot. I don't see that at all. However, I just believe that I believe he's of being chosen first because we know what Sterling brings us. Every 5 to 6 games he plays really well, but he goes missing. And I would like to see Mudryk, start, maybe put Palmer on the right and I'm sorry, Sterling on the right and give Palmer a break. Maybe I don't know, but
I don't think
can we
Palmer
afford to do that?
Probably not. This game. Yeah, go ahead.
No, probably not, and it's not warranted either, other than for rotational purposes. My thing is that
he might
when you
start
give this
Madueke.
person, yeah, very much so. Well, which obviously I prefer over Sterling all day. I honestly think that Mudryk needs a run of consecutive games. You know, yeah. No, I get it because we're playing 3 games in like I don't know how many days, 10 days or whatever. But he's young and fit enough to where he can at least play up to 60 minutes. Take him off for 60. That will basically negate any rotation that's required. I just feel that him starting is more important because he can get into the flow of the game as opposed to coming on with only 20 minutes left. I think it's hard for him to get into the game. But I can see it going both ways, Bobby. I really can. But I really do understand your logic, and it's very sound as always, Bobby. But that's my only conjecture is that I think he needs to start more games. And I didn't think he had a bad game, Mudryk. I thought he linked up and did some really nice things. The first half was not great, but what he did do, he did quite well. But he wasn't that involved in the first half. I admit that. But do you see my logic here, or am I just waffling on as usual?
Totally. It
Yeah,
makes sense.
absolutely. I understand what you're saying. It's just that I think,
Yeah, and vice
as
versa. Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is why we're conversing. But remember, this is a semi-final. The game itself is a one-off, and there's no comeback from this. Okay, it's the first leg, and there's the second leg. But as Pochettino alluded to, you don't go to the first leg trying to, especially when there's no away goals and things like that anymore, trying to prepare
yeah.
yourself for the second leg. You go to the first leg trying to basically kill off the second leg. So he won't be, given experimental situations. The whole team is experimental, but you know what I mean. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
saying all this, he might well say, "Oh, Modric needs a start. Let's start him." But I think he'll be too pragmatic. He'll be
Yeah,
looking
no, I
for a
agree.
more secure situation. And if it doesn't go to plan and we don't go ahead and force them out, well, the player that has a better chance of dribbling past a low block would be the likes of Sterling, would be the likes of Madueke. And I have a funny feeling we may well see Carney on the bench, which to me would be a very, very welcome and pleasant sight. How fit
That's
he
Sorry,
because
is,
who?
he's been training for a while now.
Who?
he has, how
Yeah,
fit he
not
is will be
Connie Chukwuemeka.
disputable. Yeah, but I
That
mean,
name sounds
if I
familiar.
see him, yeah, I mean, but if he is on the bench, if I see him come on for anything more than 10 minutes, I will
Sure.
be hugely disappointed because we've got to be so careful with these guys now.
Yeah, I totally agree. Do you see any chance of Gallagher not starting this? I don't see it at all because he was
I don't
rested
see
the
that.
last game. Yeah.
I don't see that happening.
And do you think
I don't.
Palmer
I
starts?
don't see that happening. Here's the thing. Gallagher starts. Here's the place. Like the last game, I knew, at least I argued, he wasn't going to start. He was going to be rested, and that's because he's the man, this most important player in my opinion. I believed, I strongly did believe at the time that we were gonna win that game, and I did say actually we're not gonna concede. Even when there were missing chances, I still did say we weren't gonna concede. But right now, here's where we may see changes on the left and on the right. But even I think Palmer starts. I think maybe we'll see a change here. But Gallagher starts, in my opinion. There's a chance also Palmer starts and we see a different three of two players on the flanking Gallagher here. You get my point now. I don't see anywhere in the world that Gallagher doesn't start that game. He was arrested in the last game because the
Yeah.
manager wants to play him in this particular game. And
And what
I'm gonna
about Palmer? Do you think?
Palmer,
Do you
I
think
think
he
he starts.
starts? Yeah.
If Palmer doesn't play here, then he probably play in the number 9 position. And we've heard comments that indicate the manager could sometimes play him in that position. But after all, it's a fluid approach, which means they can rotate. It doesn't.
Oh,
They just
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to say Gallagher won't be starting this one. Actually, if I won, I will bet. I'm waiting for JC to say it. I will bet $5 for the giveaway account Then if he doesn't start, I'll add $5 to the giveaway account. Once we get to $50, we share it to people. But I think he starts. Always throws me off when people call in Championship 2 second division. Takes me back to the 90s. Let's see. Yeah, technically. Mudryk, Sterling, and Palmer. You think Mudryk starts? Okay, we'll find out. But I think Gallagher starts this game. And if he starts, which means one player from those names you mentioned will be dropping to the bench. Sterling like scoring against lower championship teams and has the best record than any player in the Premier League against them. Dante, we are in a period where we have to hold our expectations a little down. You have to. Otherwise, you will suffer heartbreaks more than a million times before the season ends. And that's because we have kids and kids. Kids will always be kids. And somebody on Instagram says nice, and it's also asking the question, and that's Zero XERO. So you can pronounce that as 0_0690. Where is Fofana? Blood, Wesley Fofana or Datro Fofana? Datro Fofana will be recalled, and chances are he's joined Sevilla already. Wesley Fofana will not be back until what month this year? I can't quite recall really. Let's see. Yeah, did I read this? Sterling is only good for subbing him on to take free kicks and then take him off till next to the next free game. We have 5 subs, and Poch never uses them. Yeah. But last time I think he was spot on. And I know if Roger was on the panel the last time, it reminds you guys, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. And remind you that managers get too much credit when players let me know, how does he phrase it? Managers don't get enough credit when they win, but get blamed a lot when the team loses. Did I get it right now?
They get way too much credit when they win, and they get way too much criticism when they lose, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. But still, he did well. Middlesbrough and lower level championship side, though, they are in the top half of the table. Let's look at their injury list. I totally agree with Roger. Just talking with Waldo there. Let's see. I think it's possible we see Sterling or Palmer in a false 9 position because Broya will not maybe be able to play 3 games in 7 days. Yeah, that's because he's still recovering. But if I were the manager, I'll play my best 11, and if they get tired, I'll start making changes and have some players on the bench, because right now we need to take them one by one, actually. So technically, they are better than Preston. Okay, I thought they were higher because everyone is hyping them up at the moment. It just checks the table, and they are 12th. Yeah, so pretty much the same as us. Ian Maatsen to Dortmund. Yep, done. Medicals on Wednesday. They did a low block against a weakened Aston Villa, and the goalkeeper was man of the match. Their goalkeeper was Sterling was crap against Preston, and shouldn't even start for the under-21. That free kick is paper over the cracks. That's not nice, really. Wow. How he won man of the match after that disturbing performance is an insult to football fans. Here's the thing. I think it takes something just like this. Boom. You win man of the match. Yeah. That was the second goal, right? He scored the second goal. Was it?
Third. I can't remember.
Yeah, it happens in football. Just drop Sterling, too selfish. You only allowed to be that selfish if you're a striker. Even sometimes it depends on where you find yourself. If there's a better position player, better pass to that person. Otherwise, if you miss it, then you'll be blamed for being selfish. He won man of the match. Yeah, shocking, really. I didn't know. Yes, a correct striker can be selfish, but wingers are, yeah. And sometimes when strikers are misfiring, people do urge them, pundits, managers alike do urge them to be a bit more selfish to get a goal. And then, yeah. Like I was saying, just put Sterling on when we need a free kick. Mudryk on. I want him to start, but do we think the manager starts him? Wilder, we don't think so. That's why we're trying to predict the manager's lineup, and I'm quite sure if what we're doing is a preferred lineup exercise, he'd start over Sterling. I think Carney will be on the bench. Okay, possibly, and get a few minutes there. To be honest, half of Sterling's goal for Man City were tap-ins. Oh yeah. Do we need scientists to tell us that? No. Sterling will
Hold on
miss.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree that a lot of his I beg your pardon, excuse me, with tap-ins,
Mhm.
but he made the intelligent runs to get that tap in. How many times have we seen crosses come across the face of a goal and there's no one there to tap it in? As much as I critique him, he does make exceptionally good, intelligent runs that we see all too well that we miss those opportunities. So I think when it's warranted, you have to give him credit for recognizing what's going to transpire. He takes the initiative because that's what a forward is supposed to do: is be in the
Mhm.
right place at the right time, and he did that very well. You can't take that away from him. As much as I don't think he's good enough for Chelsea, but he has played very well in regarding actually reading the game. He's very intelligent in that regard, um, and I think he deserves to receive, you know, high praise for that, because we don't have enough of experience of players being able to recognize when to run at the near or far post, as it may be. I think it's important to give praise when it's warranted, gentlemen. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah, I do agree with you. Sterling will miss more chances than Jackson as a striker. I prefer we'll start Madueke over Sterling on the right, but that's not going to happen. And you know that Madueke has to start. Do I think he start? Uh, I don't know. I'm not too sure until proven us. I'm not too sure. Palmer, great of dealing it with low blocks. Madueke too. I still think it would be Mudryk, Palmer, Madueke with Gallagher next to Casado. No, I think Enzo starts this game. Gallagher will play in that role, but the application will be more of a 4-3-3 structure. We don't need Gallagher at 10 against Boro, need another attacker. Let's see what happens there. We'll find out. This is important game for Poch. It is Common Roger Mudryk was moving like a transcendent what's that from the boys if you know, you know, or he was invisible. I think Gusto took him out of the game and made it about himself with the useless dribbling. Wow. That is some comment right there. Middlesbrough played a high line against Villa. I hope they do that against us. Try to press. There are no pushovers. Are well coached. If Poch repeats some setup, we will lose. We cannot have a disconnect between forward and back line. And John Post has shared the link to his YouTube channel. Please go. Let's support him doing a good job there to keep youths occupied and off. You can say and not allow them the space to go do bad things. So let's agree that we have weak players nowadays. Broya is fit enough to play all games if needed. He's young and has had a prolonged break for all over 10 months. But here's the thing. Still also has to recover mentally. Plus, chances are he isn't 100% match fit, and it's a risk. That's how I see it. But I understand your point right there. You got to remember if you watch loads of games, there's always a quality player that makes the difference. For example, Man United. Yeah. But not that guy that dribbles ghosts. Anthony, my goodness, how much they paid for him. And somebody actually on the panel here and in the chat at the time preached that we should go for him. That he's better than Hakim Ziyech. It turns out Hakim Ziyech is 10 times better than Anthony. What a waste of money. I think nearly £100 million, right? You got to remember if you watch lots of games, I think we've read that one. And John Potts, Chelsea needs us to start heavily a scout Jamaican football talents. Okay, I hope they do that too. Starling does make them runs, and Jackson doesn't. Roger well spoken. Yep, Jackson has other things he does better than Starling. Starling is a good player, but his selfishness is his biggest downfall. Just asking Jam a question. I'm not reading that one. Don't get me wrong, Starling is a good player, just way too selfish and never consistent. Breaking news: Trent Alexander-Arnold sidelined for a few weeks due to injury. that's a huge issue for Liverpool because you could argue he's carried them for a while. There was
Yeah,
a goal, an attempt he made the last time. Had they gone in, I think that would win the goal of the season for the next 10 years. I think you saw that
you know
shot.
what? They're
Yeah,
using
go ahead,
him.
Roger.
They're using him in midfield more. If you notice, I think in the second half, in the last game he played, he was outstanding. I actually think for England they're going to utilize him in midfield. I think for passing and shot taking, he's an excellent player, but he lacks
I'd
defensive.
say add vision to that.
Yeah, indeed. He's not just technically gifted; his IQ is excellent. However, he's this sounds really harsh, but it's the truth. He's a defensive liability at times when he's playing
Oh
right
no,
back.
shocking, right?
Well, yeah, I like to bring these things into light, Coach.
Yeah, I know. I know. Defensively, he's a serious liability. So probably better off playing in the midfield area. But it depends on the role, though. If you play him as a 6 to protect the defense, you'll finish. I think you can say that's one of the things James has over him is James can do both. He can be excellent defensively, excellent defensively. He can also play in the midfield. So I agree with you, Roger, and thank you for bringing that to light again. And what Waldo is saying, and also Sterling dives way too much, which is another factor. It's something he learned at Man City, and he hasn't started to shed that. Question for Roger: where do we? Okay, Roger, you read that. That question is for you. Why do we never fall behind? Roger, go ahead. You may understand the question.
Yeah, question for Roger.
Mhm.
Where do we never fall behind in the first half in every game? So it's actually why do we? Yeah, actually, we're the only team
I
that has
don't
not
mean to
been
laugh. Sorry,
behind.
Roger.
Yeah, it's true. We're the only team. I think was it Sky that
Can you
brought it up?
interpret that because it's a bit jumbled up? I'm quite sure it was a mistake. But go ahead, Roger.
Yeah, so he's
What
asking.
is it meant to say?
We're the only team in the Premier League that has never trailed at any moment in time in the first half. When the first half whistle was blown, we've never been behind. That's
Wait. We've never been behind throughout the season in the first half.
Yeah, affirm. Oh, I mean, once the whistle is blown, I'm not sure whether we were 1-0 down, then we equalised 1-1. But when the whistle is blown and the beginning of the second half starts, we're the only team that's never actually been behind. According to, I think it was Sky Sports. Yeah, they showed that
Wow.
statistic in the match. Yeah, I was really shocked. I was very shocked
Because
about
it
that.
doesn't look like it's
Yeah,
correct.
it seems like we're always
it's correct,
behind.
right?
It seems like we're always behind when the second half starts.
Yeah.
But apparently, yeah, we're the only team that has claim to that fame. But can I explain why?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll tell you. It's very easy to explain. I have no bloody idea. I'm clueless. It's, I mean,
It's you.
because you have people like Klopp, like Pep Guardiola, that are geniuses, and they have trailed at one point when the second half starts. So, I listen. If I don't know, you know, I'm, and if they don't know, I'm pretty sure that I don't know. It's that simple. I think possibly a bit of fortune. The fact that we have one of the biggest time of possessions, that doesn't always equate to being ahead. But I mean, we haven't conceded enough time for our opponents to score. You know, I think those regards. But realistically, it has to do with the fact that I think we're keeping the ball away from our opponents a lot of the time. If you don't have the ball, you can't score. That doesn't, obviously, time of possession does not equate to a team winning or drawing, but it certainly doesn't hurt, let's put it that way. It certainly negates or minimizes the opposition's ability to score. So I think that has to be part of the equation. But to truly and fully explain it, no, I'm at a loss for words. I really am. I was very shocked when I saw that statistic when they talked about it on Sky. It was during the last game, our last Premier League game, I think. I was dumbfounded. I was like, wow.
In all honesty, it doesn't look like it's correct.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
couldn't believe that. But good
it's a
question
puzzle.
there, Rich
Yeah, it's a
Moneymaker. Thank you
puzzler.
for always bringing up such things. Go ahead, Roger.
Yeah, it's a puzzler. I'd like to hear what Sir Bobby thinks about this.
Go ahead, Bobby. Roger has a question for you.
Sorry, what's the question?
The question is, why is coach always wrong? No, the question is, at the beginning of the second half in every Premier League game this season, Chelsea are the only team that have never trailed when the start of the second half starts. And Rich Moneymakers wants to know, basically, can we explain why this is so?
Well, you know, football's not an exact science, is it? It's a sport, it's a game, and nothing follows a set formula. You know, that's why we love it so much. You never know, well, in most cases, who's even going to win a match. So there's no explanation. I don't even think there has to be an explanation. There most certainly is a coincidence. Will that continue all the time? You know, it's going to go in roundabouts, ups and downs, and ins and outs. At the moment, it's so. And that no doubt will change, and other permutations will happen. Just like, you know, there was a time we went 17 games straight victories when we won the league in 2015. Is that a phenomenon? Well, it was at the time. So yeah, I mean that's just my answer to that. I think we may tend to look too much into everything and just enjoy it. If we're going first halves without being behind, happy days. Let's try and go first and second halves without ever being behind. How's that?
Yeah, exactly. How's yeah, that would be a good thing. But this actually was I couldn't believe this when I read it. But let's see. Yes, Sterling never getting a call now. He's known as a diver. Was actually a penalty against him last game, but no VAR. Probably because the officials pay attention to that. And if you're tagged as tagged a diver, then you hardly get a call. Some thinks he's that guy. Southgate and Pep are not fools. They saw him from a mile away. He's taking CSC fans ages to understand that Sterling isn't that guy anymore. Summer clear out, please. It sounds easy, but it's not going to be easy. We have a chance against Liverpool after that news.
Another summer clear out. We're not
Mhm.
clear. We're not in the business of clearing out every summer. We we've had our summer clear out. This is
Mhm.
now just to consolidate the rebuild.
Yeah,
Um,
we don't want turnover in that regard.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a true fact. Let's see. We are the only team that's not been behind in the second half. Yeah, yes, that's true. And we are the team in the world. Let's see what else we have here. I am surprised Kachila did not know that. I didn't. Halftime. I just again, if you ask me, I'd say we've always considered it's a trail in most cases. The halftime Juju Poch is turning most games at halftime. Wow. What didn't we go down against Liverpool in the first half? Did we? I don't remember. I don't remember what transpired in that game
We
when I
did.
end
They
this.
scored first. They scored
Sorry.
first. We did. They scored first
In what time?
in the Liverpool game.
No. Did they score in the first half?
Yes, at the
Okay.
start of the
Okay, so
season.
maybe they're not counting that one, probably. No, let's see what else we have here. Man City have only been behind twice in the Premier League next to us. CFC have never been behind in the first half under Poch. So, which means that
No.
goal.
It's not being behind at first half. It's once the first half has ended, we have never been behind.
Once the first half. So,
We
okay.
we, we, we can
Well, we
we
were
can
behind against West Ham
right,
in the
In the
first
first half?
half.
and we equalised 1-1. In other words,
Yeah, but the first half ended, then we were 2-1 behind.
I'd have to look. Listen, this is a Sky Sports stat, so um, I, I'd have to go to the match. This is what they were talking about. I don't know, gentlemen. Let's
Go
have a
ahead,
look.
Roger. Let's see. Which of the games were you guys mentioning? So let's go
Premier
Chelsea
League.
here.
They said Premier League, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, I think we
Chelsea
should look at
West
it
Ham,
next
we
time
were
because I'm
2-1
actually
behind.
running out of time. Go ahead, Roger.
Well, Bobby, say what you were
I
saying,
was saying
Bobby.
Chelsea West
Go ahead.
Ham,
Were
we
you
were
speaking,
2-1.
Roger?
Jeez, there's a delay.
Chelsea West Ham, we were 2-1 behind
Right.
in the first half.
So when the whistle blew at half time, when we started the second half, were we behind?
I believe so, yes.
Well, then Sky's wrong then.
Well, that's not a first.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll check it. I'll check it later on. Why it should have been? Let's see what else we have. Kachila, have you seen Ted Lasso? The kitman gives the team to coach, and coach comes out with his own ideas at halftime. Okay, you mean by the end of first half?
Hey,
Okay,
Bobby,
I'm going to take my time to look at that. Can we hire the
Yes.
kitman? Maybe. Thanks for the answer from both Bobby and Roger. Liverpool has discovered the winning particle. Okay. Let's see. Clarifying the detail. Kidman gives a team at a start of game. Coach changes it at halftime. Okay. It means we have never lost a first half. Drew with Liverpool 1-1. West Ham 1-1. Okay, we have not. Okay, I'm gonna have to take my time to check that again. Nice to see you, Jerry. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Go ahead, Bobby. Were you saying something?
That could well be true, but I don't see the significance of
I don't
that
think they put it
statistic.
out if they're not certain. And by now, you've seen
Yeah.
people say,
Yeah, of course. I mean, and they use AI to calibrate their statistics as well. But I don't see the significance of that stat. I find it quite embarrassing. If we've never gone behind in the first half, well, that just highlights that there's a problem somewhere. However, it also highlights the fact that this team is on the cusp of getting it right. If you can do that, that means you have the potential to do the other half as well. So,
By the way, I'm just checking the stats right now. At halftime for Liverpool, we were 1-1. When the second half started, in other words, it was 1-1. And when the second half started against West Ham, it was 1-1.
So they're correct.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, you should have that on your spreadsheet anyway, don't you?
Nah. Yeah, not quite, Bobby.
No, he has birthdays on a spreadsheet.
Yeah, Roger's got all sorts on his spreadsheet.
Yeah, it's that time of the year, Jerry. Jerry, we're waiting for your fight against Tiger Beast. We respect that. What a contrast. You are Poch's lawyer, and he's everything about Poch out. We can't wait. If it's a live show, let us know. I'd like to be in the chat on that day.
I'm
go ahead,
gonna
Bobby.
watch that because from Tiger's warm up yesterday, I see that being none other than a total TKO from Jerry Z. He's going.
What's
This
that?
is going to be such a. They're having a debate about Pochettino.
On Jerry's YouTube channel.
Yeah, and which is
go ahead,
I must
Bobby.
watch it. I must watch it anyway, but I don't.
I'm not going to miss it. Hopefully, it's a live show. It will be interesting if it's a live show. But maybe they need to do it. It has to be a recording so that they can edit out where they were. You can say having a go at each other with punches. Jerry Z is pro punch. You know that 1000%. And Tiger is punch out. Yeah,
and
10,000%.
Tiger's warm up yesterday was very tame, very tame indeed. So I don't see. I was telling him, I said, "Wow, boy, if this is going to be your dress rehearsal for Jerry Z, you're going to be a brave man to turn up for that one because Jerry Z."
What show is this you're talking about?
No, that's a particular, just a debate. One wants Poch out, the other one wants Poch to stay, and I'm guessing you know who wants what.
Yeah. But much love. It's all
much love.
all love.
Let's see that happen. People go check out Jerry's YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. Let's help him grow
and get
monetized as soon as possible so that he will be motivated to do more against teams. Against West Ham, we were 1-1 at halftime. So Sky is very correct. Enzo just missed his penalty when Are you talking? West Ham was okay against West Ham United. Yep, I remember that. Let's see. That's called Coach and Chimera having a conversation there. Poch talking with the board who to bring in general. Namara, thank you. Nice to see you. And the Higgs, the Gist, the Scotch Poch, Chelsea Mitchell. Woo! Nice to see you, Mitchell. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. From a content creator to a friend and now a brother. Please go check out Mitchell Boy's YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. Let's help him get to thousands and thousands of subscribers. He says, please subscribe to his YouTube channel. Let's help him grow. He's at 1,000. I think that's 101. Road to how many? Not is that 11,000? Or am I not seeing right? Okay, just let him get to 10,000 as soon as possible. That's a good number too. Let's see what else we have here. The significance is that a stat on Chelsea is good. It's marketing. That's why they published it. Okay. Let's see. Enzo missed the penalty. Now I remember that. Yep. It was an awful penalty. Is there a match on tonight? Okay. Michi, are you living under the rock? I think he knows. He just wants to pull our legs there. Let's see. We are linked to Sesko, Benjamin Sesko, on loan or on a permanent. I don't know. We've been linked with him for a while now. Yeah, Jerry says it's good today. Jerry cannot tame that tiger. I want to see that fight. T Lady in the squad cover for the left back position. Yeah, that works too. Roger, I haven't said T Lady today. So I was gonna ask him for his ID. Jerry, have you guys booked an ambulance in case you are replaying a recorded program? Make sure that behind the scenes is televised. If that was a movie, I say show me behind the scenes. Man just discriminated against my comment. Did I really? Okay, just take it like that. Yeah, that battle of the feelings match, and that is perfectly described right there. Battle of the feelings. Yep. Merchant and the stats guy of box office. Yep. I don't want to miss that. Really, I think they need a referee. So, Roger, your final thoughts, and I'll get Bobby's final thoughts before we call it a day. I have to go. I know my wife's it's a health snap, but I have to go help. Roger, you there? Your final thoughts?
Yeah. So I have failed to watch the actual. Yeah, can you hear me, Coach?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not sure about who's available. I haven't watched the press conference. This is going to be a really good test. Boro away is not easy. That's a tough ground. On paper, we should win this, but you know, and I know this game is never played on paper. So I'd like us to play, you know, with a fast tempo. I want us to see us moving the ball around, and I want us to be more. How shall I put this? I want us to show that we can be disciplined defensively, because we seldom we've been giving away too many goals at the back, and I want us to stop this. I want us to show we're more defensively minded, and eradicate these mistakes that we tend to make. That's what I'm looking forward to. And obviously, you know, I want to see how we progress going forward. I want us to show that we're more clinical. We have to do the basics, the fundamentals correctly. And I want an inferior opposition on paper. And, you know, we need to listen. We really, truly do need to start being more consistent with the players we have. A lot of these players that we believe will be starting are the main core of players based on their availability. So they should start to exhibit a greater understanding of what is required from the coaching staff. And I think it's about time we start exhibiting more consistency. I really do.
Yeah, before I go to Bobby again, Michi Boy Kuchila is officially a waffler. I've been a member of the Wafflers Union for a while now. Let's see. I need to be in Jerry's corner to keep him watch in. I just want to enjoy the show, and what I'm going to be paying attention on the day, who's been, you can say, just spitting, you can say, opinion based on their emotions, and who's speaking objectively. That's what I enjoy about such conversation. It's an interesting one, and I love that. They must take one of the gang members as as the middleman in order to guide the debate to its logical. I wouldn't mind being hosting that show if it's a live show. I wouldn't mind hosting it and be more of the moderator. Yep. First half, Burnley 1, Chelsea 1. Tottenham 1, Chelsea 1, 2-2 Man City, 1-1 Newcastle United, 1-1 Manchester United, and more. Wow, interesting, really. Yep, Chimera, he models himself on. What did I do to these people? No, Mitch, I don't model myself on you.
Hey, Mitchy boy.
What did you guys eat today? Who's modeling himself on you? No, I don't model myself on you, man. Maybe after you. I don't know. That's how I read it. But sorry, I have a very dirty mind. Great show, Coach. Thank you so much. There, he appreciates Roger and Bobby too. I'm you guys should do watch alongs. Michi never listens. I like doing watch alongs, but it's I'm not sure what to say anymore. There. Let's see what else we have. We need to keep improving on our set piece. Yeah, we have to. Let's see what else we have here. 2 a.m. J. I am a world class listener. Are you? Let's not forget. I'm not reading that really. No, coach, you are not yet a member of the H Club. Yeah, I'm not going to the H place. You are going. You guys are leading the charge. You will pour cold water to the environment. We need fire. I'm not pouring cold water. I want to, if they give me the opportunity, I want to be the moderator for that debate. Oh, yeah, a flip flop Jerry would call him. I think there are, you can say, grounds to call Jerry a flip flop. At one point, he went from 0 to 100 to from punch in to punch out momentarily, maybe dragged into that zone by Kalito. Not Kalito, actually. Kalito has always been punch in. Maatsen gone now. I think Kalito dragged him into Gallagher out. More of a world class jokes cracker. Nietzsche, let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. Yesterday, Maatsen to Dortmund. Here we go. Yep, I will not forget that. We need a left back now, definitely. Chimera, the last one I want to get here. I will come on the panel sometime to speak to Bobby, Roger, Coach, and many people in the chat and the listeners overall. Bobby, your final thoughts before we call it a day. Have you spoken? Has he? I don't know.
No.
Okay, Bobby, let's hear your final thoughts before we call it a day.
Yeah, I mean, people saying we need the left back, which is almost laughable. We're meant to have one in Chilwell. But I'm quite irritated at the moment by Chilwell. You know, you come on for less than half a dozen games at the beginning of the season, disappear where the team desperately needs you the most for the majority of the season, and then pop up again towards the end for a couple of games, finding your fitness. Not good enough. We really have to watch it this time. I pray he does well. I pray he stays with us and manages to stay fit. But I don't think we can have another season of that malarkey at all. I think it's just not acceptable anymore. In terms of the game, look, sorry, there's some work going on in my house, as you might hear. Look, you know, whose report, you know, which Chelsea will we see? Look, I believe that the winner of this game, this particular game, is the team that will have more endeavour. Now, we have faced teams in the past where, especially lower teams, where it seems we're not quite up for it, not least to mention that towards the tail end of the second half against Luton, they showed that extra endeavour and physicality and fight. We've got to be ready for all those things. Do we have the physicality to take on uh, um, Middlesbrough? that's my concern, and that's why I would have Colwill as left back, because of his height and his added physicality. And I will certainly start with Brozier because of that physicality, because they're quite big guys, and we've got to battle with them. Um, think of a Luton, and that's what we're probably going to face. So we've got to be ready for the fight. Will we be? Crikey, mate, whether you're a new player, whether you're a youngster, whether you're not a fully integrated team, if you're not ready for a fight for a cup semi-final, then you shouldn't be playing football. Period.
All right, thank you so much. I want to say thank you to Bobby. Thank you to Roger for finding the time to join me on the panel today. Sincerely do appreciate that. Cannot thank you both enough. And I want to say thank you to JC. Yeah, you think I'm talking to be the moderator. I'm not even sure I'll have the time, but it'd be an honor to moderate that debate. I will enjoy it, and I will grill them with so much question. They will sweat on the panel. So, but I don't think I'd have the time. If I have the time, I'll do it. I will wholeheartedly do it. And I'm quite sure I enjoy it. Thank you to Constantine Dantu. Big up to you, brother. I appreciate you. Rich Money Makers. I appreciate you. And Jerry Z. Nice to see you, brother. Love to all of you. Chimera, I appreciate you so much. And JC, much love to you. And the East, the Jesus Scotch Porch. Chelsea, meet you, boy. Nice to see you. All of you, and Jay, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Nehemiah. And if I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and cheers.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Bob.
Thank you. More thanks to you.